Hey, what's up, guys? So doing a little late night workout. Talia and I just got home and I decided I was gonna go do a few sets here and there. And then I decided, I'm just gonna share it with you guys. So we're gonna do a little live here. Let me adjust the cam here. So I'm gonna do a little short workout, share with you guys. I was doing, I'm already in about 6 sets already. So I'm doing some pull-ups, some leg raises. Hey, Austin. What's up, dude? Hey, Albert. Doing some leg raises, some dips. I'm doing some pike push-ups. Hey, Rayada. What's up, dude? And yeah, now I was doing also some pike push-ups. So I've been doing awesome, dude. Shoulders? Yeah, I was doing shoulders too. Hey, Hicks. What's up, dude? So I'm going to share with you guys a tip before I get back. So before, when I was working out with weights, I was blowing up my shoulders. My shoulders are actually getting so wide and so big, it was making everything else look smaller. So then what I did was I decided, all right, I'm just gonna chill out on doing shoulders before, Well, before I would just hit everything. I try to hit like chest a lot more because it made my chest look really small. So now fast forward, the last few years, I rarely focus on shoulders because I'm like, nah, man, those guys are gonna grow. I've been mostly focusing on chest and some back. And what was I commenting at here? And now I decided, all right, it's time to go ahead and start hitting some shoulders again. So I've been doing a technique, and now I'm in best shape ever. I am the best shape ever. I'm not big, but dude, yeah, endurance, my agility, like I am feeling so strong now, just different level of strong, So I'm bringing up my shoulders again. So the exercise that I'm using is basically handstand push-ups and doing a lot of pike push-ups. And then when I do a pike push-up, I do it off the edge of something, like off of a deck or off of any type of, like I do it off the pool sometimes. I'm just on the edge. This way I can go deeper. So I use a technique called the 5X. I call it a 5X day, right, or 5X technique. It's really simple. Basically, in bodybuilding, we call it like staggered sets. So in bodybuilding, the term staggered sets, if you ever read Arnold's Encyclopedia on bodybuilding, you go into, and let's say today's like working on chest and tris, but you'll do a stagger set with your calves. And the way you'll do it is you'll go in, you're hitting your chest, right? And then you will just drop in and you'll do a set of calf raises, for example. And then every about 10 minutes or so, you'll go in and just do a set of calf raises, even though you're hitting your chest. And then after your chest, you're hitting your tris. But then you'll just do a set of calf raises throughout, let's say, every 10 minutes. So now, maybe after an hour in, you've hit 6 sets of calf raises, right? Or maybe if you did more sets, like every 7 minutes you did one. So the idea is you're basically staggering your sets throughout a workout. So I started staggering these sets throughout the entire day. And what I'm doing is I'm using pike push-ups as the choice of exercise. So the tip basically goes like this. For me, right now, I'm working on bringing up my shoulders. So I would just randomly do pike push-ups throughout the entire day. There's an area in my shower. So every time when I take a shower now, I will go and do at least 20 reps of pike push-ups. Sometimes even more, sometimes a little less. And just throughout the day, I'll drop down and I'll just do them. And I'll do them about 5 times a day. And so because I'm resting a long time between each set, so it really doesn't matter. I'm fully charged most of the time when I'm doing it. Sometimes I'll just do 1 set and I'm good. And sometimes, let's say I'm on the computer and I've been on the computer for an hour. I'm like, all right, I want to move around a little bit. So then I'll go and I'll just do maybe 1 or 2 or maybe 3 sets of pike push-ups. And so by doing it that way, it will get you a lot of volume in that one exercise that you're wanting to go and bring up, let's say a certain body part, or you want to get stronger at that exercise. And you do this every single day. And there will come a time to where how can you get in good shape? So sharing with that with you, JS. So there will come a time to where you will get really sore and you won't be able to do that. You just need to rest straight up, and that's fine too. But this technique is basically a way to go ahead and bring up lagging body parts because you're putting in a lot more volume. You're getting higher in repetition. So I can do a lot of pike push-ups, at least, 15 or 20 of them. So this is not a technique that you can only, if you're able to only do, let's say, three reps of something. Let's say you're trying to bring up your back or your biceps and you're doing like pull-ups. You don't want to just do like 3 reps of something if that's the only amount of reps you can do for that move. That would be the wrong exercise to do on this 5X technique. And the reason why is because you're doing this exercise throughout the day, but you're not warmed up. And that's the goal. It's like you're not trying to go and do this whole workout thing. You're not trying to work out, throughout the entire day. You're simply finding one exercise that you can do at least about 10 reps on. Okay, at least about 10 reps, clean 10 reps. So you're not struggling to get these 10 reps in. So this way, you don't really got to worry about warming up. And also, because you're strong enough to do at least 10 reps, you're not worried about getting injured. Because if you can only do 3 reps of something, you got to be pretty warmed up before you jump in and do those 3 reps. Because if not, you're going to hurt something. But let's say you're wanting to bring up, back, and you can do about 10 reps of pull-ups. So then throughout the day, you'll go ahead and you'll just drop in and you'll do 10 reps. Maybe you'll do 15 reps, right? Whatever the reps is. And then you're chilling. And then afterwards, after a couple hours, you come in and you do it again. Same thing with push-ups. Same thing with any exercise. You want to bring up legs. So maybe squats. You can knock out, 15, 20 reps of squats, no problem. Or you can do 30. So then you get up, right? You just knock out 30 reps of squats. And then you go on with your day. And then afterwards, you do that again and again and again. And if you do that, you'll see that one body part that you are doing these stagger sets on throughout the day, every day, is going to come up really, really quick. You're going to get really, really strong at it, super fast. But again, at some point, you're going to need to go and rest, and you won't be able to do it. So you're not going to be able to do it every single day for a whole week straight. You might be able to do it 3 or 4 days straight. And then that 5th day, you're just not going to be able to. You're going, oh man, it's aching, it's sore, I need to chill out. Okay, so, all right. Now I'm going to go ahead and go on with my workout. So I just want to share that technique. I call it the 5X technique. Okay, so I'm doing pike push-ups with it. How to recover from tear muscle? Shit, Hicks. Well, really quick. Tear muscle, I tore my hamstrings before. The best thing to do with tear muscle is, number one, you don't want to work out. You don't want to work on that muscle, obviously, but you want to keep it semi-active. So let's say I tear my bicep. If you tear your bicep, well, you got to have it recover, but you have to also make sure that it's relatively, it's got movement. The problem is, like, if somebody tears and they don't move at all, when it recovers, the muscle is so much shorter, or you have a whole bunch of scar tissue because you never moved it. So an area that you tear, that you injure, you want to move it so this way you're able to bring in oxygen, you're able to bring in blood, you're able to bring in the nutrients it needs to recover. That movement would help it recover. The trick is to go ahead and not re-injure it. So moving doesn't mean you're doing a workout, doesn't mean you're doing anything extreme. You're simply just creating some type of movement so you don't have total immobility, So that's what I recommend for tearing things. Of course, if you're moving and it's like so painful and you can't even move it, then you would just need to chill out until you're at least able to have some type of movement. That's what you want to get to. It doesn't matter if you tear a muscle, it doesn't matter if you sprain your ankle, you hurt your knee, any area in your body that gets injured. If you want to heal it fast, don't lay in bed all day long. Don't go ahead and just totally baby it. Just take it easy, but you want to create movement in it. You just got to make sure you take it really, really easy, okay? If you create movement, your body will heal really, really quickly because you're bringing in the nutrients. You're bringing in the blood and the oxygen, okay? The tip part is don't go extreme on the movement, okay? So this way you don't re-injure it. You just stay right to where you're active, but not even close to where you get re-injured. If you tear your chest or you've got this pain in your elbow and you can't do more than 7 push-ups without pain, that doesn't mean you just go ahead and push to 7 or 8 or 9 push-ups that you're really going for. You may just do 3. And then the 4th one, you start to feel it, so you already lay off. But every time when you do that, that little bit of movement there starts to go ahead and rehab the area of your body. Okay, so I've done this for all parts of my body. All right, guys, let's go and let's finish up this workout here. So I also started doing behind the neck pull-ups again. It's been a while. So I love doing a chest and back combination. Dips and pull-ups, or pull-ups and push-ups. It's like a push and pull. So also, I can stand on the ground here. So this way I'm really taking it easy right now. So I'm keeping my moves slow and controlled. So just so you know, when I'm walking out right here, most of the time here I'm standing, you know. Doesn't mean you have to stand. I can also just do this and I'm not standing. But again, I'm just taking it easy tonight. This way I can kind of chat with you guys. And all right, let's do it. And also because I just started doing behind the neck again. So there's no point to make it super hard. So I've been doing leg raises a lot lately. Been like my go-to for abs. Oh, what's that? Oh, wow, okay. So, what would happen if I only train body weight, but I'm not in a calorie surplus? Want to get more lean, but smaller. Simon. So you want to get, so you're training, you want to only train body weight. Let me read back that comment here. Top chat, live chat. Hold on. Post that comment again, Simon. Or let me see if I can remember. So basically, if you don't have a surplus in calories and you're training, if you're training hard and you don't have a surplus in calories, you're gonna get leaner, straight up. If you are training hard and you're also increasing your calories, then you're gonna put on size, you're gonna put on weight. So for anybody that wants to get really lean, you wanna get super muscular, you wanna get super lean, but you don't, and you don't wanna put on a lot of size. You don't wanna put on a lot of weight. I don't wanna say size because you're gonna appear to look more muscular because you're leaning up. You're leaning up because you're training harder, you're burning more calories, and you're not increasing, the calorie intake. So, but you can do it with body weight, man. Well, I answered so many comments on what body weight exercises should I do? And also, JS, what diet plan do you follow? So, all I eat is, I eat vegetables, I eat fruits. I go out to eat, just because food is so cheap here in Bali, man. When I go out to eat, I get a lot of veggie burgers. I'll be eating fries all the time. I don't like to recommend what I eat just because I don't eat the cleanest. But but just to let you know, like what I actually eat, I eat fries like crazy. Am I recommending you guys eat fries? It's not gonna help you get leaner. You know what I mean? So, but if you want to ask like, what do I eat? That's what I eat. Not all the time, but probably about every other day. Do you think most of your carbs can come from fruits? Yeah. Most of my carbs are coming from fruits, rice, honey. I put honey in like my coffee, Natalia, my lady, she cooks all kinds of desserts. So the thing is, like, if you want to get super lean and you're not like crazy active, then you can't be eating all that stuff. I'm not like super lean right now. It's like, yeah, I've got some abs, but let me bring the camera down just so you like, I don't know, lighting's not the best. So you guys can see, like, I don't know where my body fat is, but it's there. If I had to guess looking right now, I would say I'm probably at about maybe 9%. Yeah, maybe 9%, give or take, and at the highest 10, maybe 9, maybe lowest I'll say is like 8. So it's good, If I didn't eat the fries, if I didn't eat the pastries and all the cakes and all this random stuff, ice cream, I probably would be down like 5. I'd be at like maybe 5%, 6%, be a lot more leaner. But I'm not competing. I don't care. I'm just enjoying it, It's just so hard to feel full. Can you build muscle and burn fat in the same time for intermediate lifter? Yeah, body's the same way. It doesn't matter if you're intermediate or if you're a beginner, you can still build muscle and burn fat at the same time. What you can't do is you can't burn fat and gain weight at the same time. That's the thing. Where do you get your protein from? So I get protein from veggies, get protein from, let's say, there are like things like lentils, there's things like a lot of plant-based proteins. I haven't been calculating a lot of the proteins, to be honest. I rarely counted proteins before, and don't even count at all. This is why I'm saying, like, I haven't dived totally into my nutrition. This is why I don't share that much nutrition with you guys, to be honest, But I realized one thing though. The intake of protein that bodybuilders and all of us, including myself, were led to believe we need to eat 1 gram per body weight, all that stuff, it's not all true. It's not, because I stopped counting protein. I just started exercising, seeing what would happen. And I'm still gaining muscle. And anybody that goes, well, Mike, you're smaller than before. Well, dude, I don't work out with weights. And also, I don't even work out that much. I do my 60-minute practice in the morning time, which is like only a little bit of resistance training. Everything else is like flexibility, meditation, breath work, energetic grounding, massage, a little bit of muscle building. So if I wanted to go ahead and build a lot of muscle, like really start putting on size again, I can do that. And I'm not even caring about protein. I don't even eat a lot of protein as it is. So I'm going to be sharing because I want to go ahead and really dive in and understand the science behind it. Like for you guys, if you guys ever watch Game Changers, there's a new documentary that's out. Yes, I know it's kind of like bias and like they are trying to get people to go ahead and be more plant-based. That is true. But there is a lot of truth in what they're saying though. If you look, there's a lot of vegan bodybuilders out there that are freaking super jacked, much more jacked than I am. And they eat vegetables, they eat plant protein sources all the time. So, all right, I'm gonna go knock out a few more sets, man. Then I'll answer some questions. change the camera around. All right, holla at you, India. Are you in Hawaii right now? Nah, I'm in Bali, in an area called Ubud. Let's see if I can get a good shot here. I'm gonna do a few sets here of some pike push-ups. All right, if you guys can see me okay. What do I think of keto? Is it sustainable? Do you have experience with it? I tried keto a little bit. I gotta say my body do respond really well with low carbs. You know, low carbs, low sugar, you know? And also I got a friend, Chris, he does keto like crazy. And also he does an intermediate fasting. And he is shredded. He's shredded. He's got some years on me. But yeah, looking good. Yeah, so it does work. The only thing is, I find that keto works. Like keto is good. Intermittent fasting is good. For me, I like to stay really, really active. And it's hard for me to have like the energy. Like when I'm on intermittent fasting and I try it, you know, I'm like really calm, really, really relaxed, but there's not like this super surge of energy, you know? Oh, this lighting looks all crazy. So, but yeah, but keto works, man. It's good. There's no real best diet, to be honest. How do you get your veins? It's not genetics, bro. The veins basically come from vascularity. It comes from your skin being like really thin. And the skin is like really thin from doing a lot of volume, high repetition, low repetition, a lot of volume, you know? So that's how you get your veins that's how you get the veins to come out, because your skin gets a lot thinner. There's not a lot of fat between the muscle and the skin, you know? So that's how the vascularity comes out. Some people, if they're lean, but they kind of look like, their muscle looks puffy. They don't have that vascularity, that kind of dense striated look, you know? It's because they got a lot of fat between the skin and the muscle. All right. Hope you guys can see me okay. How many of you guys are training every day? Let's ask like this. How many of you guys I train at least 5 times a week. How many sets and reps do you do? 5 times a week? Nice, good. Nah, not going back to 6-pack. Glad you're back. Michael Bond 2.0, thanks, man. Nice, rock on. Randomness, 3 times a week, New York, Sandeep. Cool, good, good. So, I am getting people, my goal is to get people to start training 7 days a week. So somebody will be like, damn, that's overtraining. The reason why I do that is because I realized that people, what business do you now have after 6-pack? I'll answer that in a sec. What I realized, what gets people to get in shape and stay in shape, more important to stay in shape, but actually get in shape, same thing, is just simply having a habit of training. So a lot of times what happens is the habit, it takes a lot of repetition to build. 5 times a week is good. You don't really need to do more than that. However, the fastest way to do a habit is through repetition and doing it daily. When someone builds a habit of training, they don't have this hurdle of trying to train but not feel like doing it. They don't run into all the excuses in their mind. And the thing is, every single person, like almost every single person that asks me about how to get more results, I ask them, I'm like, yo, man, do you train? You know, they go, how do I do this? How do I do that, right? And almost every time, dude, the answer is, nah, I'm not training right now. And I go, why, dude? Why aren't you training right now? Oh, you know, I'm not sure what to do. I'm not sure if it's right. And I started realizing, like, people are so confused on what to do. It's like they're confused on what exercises are the best, what diets are the best. And so because they're confused, they don't know what to do. Instead of moving forward towards something, they just don't move forward at all. And so what I'm telling people now is like, man, just don't worry about, like, let's just make it so simple where you don't ever have to be confused on what to do, because your routine will be so simple. The exercise will be so simple. Everything is so easy. You skip past all of the what to do every day, changing it up and all this stuff. You literally just do the same things every day. So one of the big reasons why I'm not doing a lot of other exercises, and also particularly why I'm not going to gym, a couple of reasons. First of all, it's like my joints do take a lot more pressure being in the gym, you know? And also I don't get injured doing body weight, but the gym sometimes, you know? But the biggest thing is because I'm telling people, I want to prove it to people that you can get into really great shape by doing literally a handful of exercises. And so right now what I'm working on, I was saying earlier in the video, one of the areas I'm really bringing up is my shoulders. And so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna blow up my shoulders, and I'm gonna do it through body weight, and I'm gonna do it through doing like pike push-ups and handstand push-ups. That's it, you know? Same thing with like everything. Like my chest, I'm gonna do that just straight up doing push-ups and dips, just different variations. And so the idea is I'm doing these simple exercises because I wanna show people like you can do it. You don't have to do all this fancy stuff, because once people realize and they understand, like, they don't have to do all of these different crazy exercises and they can get into really good shape by just doing the basics, now we skip the confusion. You know what I mean? We skip the confusion. We skip ever running into the issue of like, what do I do? You know, there's all these exercises. What is best for what? It's like, man, when you only have a handful of exercises to do for every body part, and how do you build bigger muscles? Do more of it, or just do like a harder version of the same thing. It becomes really easy. Now people stop focusing on research. They stop overthinking it, and they just spend their time actually just doing it. And then they get results. And they build a habit. And when they build a habit because they're doing the same exercises all the time, it becomes really easy to do. Whatever is easy to do, it's enjoyable, you do it more often. If you do it more often, you get in shape and you stay in shape. You build a habit and then you never stop. And there's nothing easier than using your body, your own body weight. Because you got it with you all the time. So you never run into reasons on why you wouldn't have it, you know? Mike, did you ever count your daily calorie intake? Not really. I had an idea, but I never really did, man. Because I never wanted to make things complicated. I could have started measuring. But even back in the six-pack days, man, I had like structured meals. I just looked at it. I go, okay, this much rice, this much protein, you know, or this much chicken, whatever it was, this much veggies. Okay, cool. And I just measured it like that. But also got to keep in mind, like, I've been training since I was like 11 years old. So for me, it's a lot of it is really instinctual now. And so if somebody really has issues with their eating, you know, they like overeat all the time, then I'd recommend you can measure, you know, really kind of gauge it and get really specific on it until you get it down. And then once you get it down, try to do your best not to make it complicated, you know, so try not to count your calories anymore, or weigh your food. Only do it if you had to figure it out in the beginning. So for you guys that just jumped on, doing a little late night workout, push-ups, or pike push-ups, pull-ups, dips, leg raises. And kind of answering some questions in between. So when I come up to the screen, to the cam, send in your questions. Feel free to comment now. I'll see them eventually. But if you want to ask me something, wait till I get up there. All right. Well, we got Slender. Well, I started training when I met Mike on YouTube about when I was 15. Nice, man. JS, how to use law of attraction. I'll talk about it in another video. Dylan, one of the big excuses for not, man. Sorry, guys, I was trying to read the comments. Top chat, all available. Okay, cool. Let me see if I can. Sorry, man, the comments are like disappearing really quick. I just switched the settings here. Slender, well, I started training when I met Mike on YouTube about when I was 15 years old. About 6 years ago. Sweet. Awesome, dude. JS, law of attraction. Yeah, we'll talk about another video, JS. Dylan, Mike, one of the big excuses for not doing any body workouts is I don't have a pull-up bar. Is there a good workout around, good workaround? Yes, Dylan. Yes, there is. Use the door frame. I'll show you an example. So let's say I'm not gonna do it straight up right here because I don't trust that hinge. But what you do is this, bro. You put a wedge on the bottom right here. So this way the door doesn't move, okay? So once it's wedged in, you can put like a towel on the top of the door. I done a couple videos with this, and you literally just hang on it. You hang on it like this, and then you do pull-ups that way. That's how you do it, man. Then you can get around doing pull-ups. Another way, Dylan, is doing it right under a table. It's a little easier, still pretty good though. So let's see if I can show you. So like right here. So for you guys that want to do pull-ups, make sure your table is sturdy. This table here is not the sturdiest, so I gotta take it easy on it. You can't just grab it too hard, you know, so you gotta test it out. Don't be having a table drop on you, right? So hang like that and come up. Keep it controlled, come all the way up. Chin on top of the table. Boom. And you notice, I don't know if you guys can see me with my legs bent. So you can keep it straight. And it makes it a lot. Oh. That's why I didn't want to bend it. I didn't want to keep the legs straight. So, about to have a table fall on me, trying to show you guys. So, holy shit, yeah, that was close, Prince. So that's how you get around with doing pull-ups. Pull-ups if you don't have a pull-up bar. But awesome, dude. I mean, just go buy a pull-up bar. You know, buy one of those door frame ones, you know. Those are like 30 bucks, 20 bucks on Amazon. You can get them at Walmart. Just get them anywhere. That's the way to go. But until you have those, do the table version or door frame. Also, another thing is you can do dips with chairs, you know. I do dips with chairs all the time. All the time. Like, this is uneven chairs. Like, I don't give a shit. I still do them. All right. So, all right. Let me answer a few more Olympic rings. Yeah, that is the way to go, bro. All right, let me see. Let me go back to a few things. Gato, hey Mike, I feel like I'm living a cycle. Sometimes I get tired from trying to do things to keep distracted from depression. And when I get tired, I feel horrible until I recover myself. Hey Gato, man, I know what you're feeling. Here's what you do on that really quick, man. Are you exercising every day? Are you doing a practice? Because if you aren't, it's gonna be really tough to get out of that depression, okay? The depression is coming from the emotion. We call this emotion, we call it depression, but this emotion is actually energy. It's energy in motion. Emotion, energy in motion. It's the same thing. We just give it names like depression or love or joy or, you know, sadness. In reality, it's just that your energy is low. Not just like the amount of energy you have, but the frequency, the type of energies. The frequency of energy is low. So when you get your frequency higher, increase the frequency of your energy to be higher, your emotions would raise up, you pull yourself right out of that depression, okay? So start doing the practice. Do my flow training practice, okay? Stretch, focus on being calm, okay? Focus on being calm. So just start doing that, man. Spec, I'm using your afterburn. Sweet, awesome, man. True gamer, you're the king, bro. Thank you. Felipe, how all that stuff about energy work? There's lots to learn on it. The basis of it is keep your energy vibration high, the frequency very high. In other words, stay calm. Stay calm, stay relaxed, okay? When you get tense, when you get stressed up, when you get angry, when you get aggressive, all that stuff, your energy drops down, all your hormones start shutting off, you start releasing stuff like cortisol and all the bad crap, your test level starts dropping, all this stuff. So keep your energy good by staying relaxed, staying calm. This is why I created the whole flow training routine. Just for myself to be able to do that and show you guys how to do it too. I'm gonna do one more set here and I'm gonna come back and answer a few questions. All right. Power might change the best. Thanks, man. Coffee or green tea? I like to taste the coffee. I drink both. But to be honest, man, coffee is kind of like my little cheat drink. Caffeine is not the best for you. Have a little bit, it's okay. You get too much of it, it messes with your energy. It doesn't allow you to stay calm. When you can't stay calm, your thoughts race like crazy and your body can't chill out. Your body can't relax. It can't recover correctly, okay? Keep that in mind. But I do drink coffee and green tea, but it's not the best for you. It's kind of like my little cheat drink. Esteban, hi Mike, greeting from Chile. Awesome, dude. Can you give me advice to quit a vice? Yeah, that's a big question there. Quit a vice, that's, dang man, that's gotta be like another video, bro. I can give you some short advice, but it's not gonna be complete. It's gonna take at least a good 10 minutes to really dive into that. The only thing I can say about that is the only reason why you're doing a vice, drinking, smoking, masturbation with porn, whatever, you know, gaming, is because we don't feel good. We don't feel good inside, so we have to distract ourselves. Social media, right, we're scrolling constantly. It's because we're not feeling good and we don't want to look at the real problem. Or we want to go after something, but we're not going after it. We're not chasing after our dreams. We're not doing what we really love. And we feel like we're in a stuck place, so we don't want to deal with it, so we avoid it. Vice is all about avoiding. I used to have crazy emotional issues, like with eating. Emotional issues, yes, but emotional eating. So I'd feel bad, instead of trying to figure it out, I just go eat, okay? So best way to deal with vice is realizing where it's coming from. And so you don't feel good. There's something that has to happen. And so number one, start making your body feel better. Start training, okay? Train every day. And number two, slow things down. You can get caught up in the reactive thing and then you're freaking constantly doing something. You're not looking at the real issue. Slow things down so you can find out what your real issue is, what you're really running away from. And once you realize what you're running away from, stop running away, start going forward, even if it's scary, okay? Just go for it. But that's a bigger topic to cover. How we find purpose in life? Yeah, that's another big topic to cover, man. JS, we cover that in another video, bro. Nachan, if you stop working out, let's say for 3 weeks, does that affect your muscles? Yes, it does. Lose muscle in this short amount of time. Hello from Japan. Yeah, it does. Doesn't matter if you've been working out, like I've been working out since I was 11, so I've been working out for like over 25 years now. If I stop for 3 weeks, yes, it will affect my muscles. I'll be weaker. My endurance won't be as high. My energy won't be as high. My muscles won't be as pumped. Absolutely. If you wanna stay strong, there's a line. If you don't use it, you lose it. Okay, so that goes for anything. This doesn't mean you just don't know how to do push-ups anymore. It's the idea of riding a bike. You don't ever forget how to ride a bike once you know how to ride a bike, but you don't ride a bike as good. If you know how to dribble basketball, you don't ever forget how to dribble basketball, but you aren't dribbling as well. You're not running as well if you stop running. So same thing goes with training. If you don't train, your muscles get smaller. You still remember how to train, but your muscles will get smaller. Anything that you want to, this mosquito's messing with me. Anything that you want to stay at a certain level on, no matter if it's building a nice body, for example, you got to continue it. Any skill, if you're typing and you stop typing for a while, the longer you stop typing, the worse you get at typing. If you want to get really good at talking, you talk a lot. If you stop talking, then you start to decrease in your ability to talk. Every single thing's the same. Okay, so that's just like a general rule of life altogether. Hello, man. See. All right, let me go back. Steve, do body weight. Ninja, Danger Pooch, yo, you're like a ninja god living in paradise. Thanks, bro. Joshua, if you do body weight instead of just gym weights, you will keep your muscles longer. I don't know if you keep your muscles longer, but I would say I don't get injured as easily. You know, that's for sure. It's easier for me to work out because I don't go anywhere. I can just drop and do it anytime. But as far as like muscles longer, our muscles will respond to resistance. Doesn't matter what type of resistance. I can be lifting chairs. I did. You should see me, dude. I was grabbing 2 chairs and freaking doing side laterals with it. Your muscles don't know the difference. You use your body weight, it's weight. You use a chair, it's weight. You use a dumbbell, it's weight. You use a person, it's weight, right? Acro yoga, you see people lifting people. Same idea. Your muscles don't really know the difference. They will develop differently. But as far as like them staying longer, that, I don't think that's true though. Okay. I'm interested in facial exercises, you do, but I'm afraid it's too harsh on my face. Oh man, it's not too harsh on your face, man. You know, if you got a sensitive face, get it, rub it slowly. Don't scrub like crazy, especially if you got calluses hands, but just take it easy. The facial exercises are really good to loosen up the muscles in your face. It's good for keeping you to look younger. It's good for releasing the tension, loosening up the muscles in your face, releasing the tension. Also stimulates the organs, like our eyes, our nose, our mouth, our tongue, our ears. These are like organs. People don't think about it, but imagine, dude, you know, you lose your sight, you lose your ability to smell, you start to lose your ability to hear. You lose, like, you start to have problems with your mouth, you can't taste, all this stuff. People don't ever think about, like, maybe I should go ahead and do something about it constantly. So this way I keep it healthy. But people don't think about that. It's just not in the culture. So I started doing those things because it should be done, you know? So, but yeah, don't worry about being too harsh. Just take it easy, you know? What's your diet like? Hello, man. So I talked about that earlier in the video. I eat a lot of veggies, a lot of fruits. I go out to eat a lot and I eat like veggie burgers. I'm a vegetarian. You know, just stay away. I'll say just stay away from processed foods. Stay away from processed foods, processed sugars, okay? Try to stick with whole foods. I don't eat meat anymore, but I'm not against meat. So if you eat meat, keep it clean, you know? And also one more thing on the diet, bro. Hello, man. You don't need to eat like 5 or 6 times a day. Dude, I was eating like 7 to 9 times a day before. You know, I was totally all about it. And the thing is, I ended up having to spend so much time eating, it just consumed my life. So over the last 4.5 years now, I eat anywhere from 1 meal to about 3 to 4 meals a day. Average, about 3 meals a day, okay? And if I ate 2 meals a day, I would be leaner, straight up. But I eat 3 meals a day because I like to eat. So you don't have to eat as often too. All right, I'm gonna answer 2 more questions, and then I'm gonna go jump and do some other sets before I lose my pump here. JS, how do you take fear out of the mind? That's another video, bro. Short answer, raise up your energy vibration, okay? Check out Map of Consciousness by David Hawkins. You can type it in onto Google, Map of Consciousness. It's gonna show the emotions of fear and the energy vibration where you're at, and it shows when you get higher in vibrational frequency, your emotions start to raise up and you get out of the fear-based mindset, fear-based thinking, get into love. All right, let's see. I love my life. Mike, how many times you eat in a day? How much calories? So I eat anywhere from about 2 to 4 times a day. I don't count my calories. Where do you live now, bro? I live in Bali, in Ubud. Do you practice visualization? Yes, I do, JS. Where are you now, Tarzan? I'm in the jungle, bro. How can you get jacked from doing pull-ups? Hell yeah, dude, you can get jacked from doing pull-ups. Or push-ups? Yes and yes. All right, yes and yes. That's all I do is push-ups, pull-ups, dips, handstand push-ups, pike. You know, that's all I do. I don't do anything else. I purposely do it that way just to go ahead and prove to myself that I'm not bullshitting. You see tons of people on calisthenic exercises. They're all freaking ripped up and jacked. You see their bodies, they all look the same, you know? But I don't care about someone else doing it. If I'm gonna tell you guys or I'm gonna tell people, start doing bodyweight exercises, I'm gonna do it myself. You know, fuck trying to go ahead and tell people to do something and then I do something else. I'm not gonna be there hitting the weights and telling somebody, yeah, bro, just do push-ups. And I'm over here repping out plates. Hell nah, man. So that's why all I do is the same thing that I'm telling people to do. Push-ups, pull-ups, and all this stuff, okay? So yeah, you can get really jacked, man. Danger Poosh, thumbs up this video, fam. Mike was just dropping some serious jewels. Thanks, bro. No weights needed? Yeah, no weights needed, bro. Just do the workouts. Do the workouts every single day, bro. Every single day when you wake up, go and do the workouts. Let's do an Olympic ring session. Shit, man. You look like you do some Olympic ring spec. All right, man. You go do a couple more sets here. Body's getting cold. All right. Now I'm gonna go and drop down. Hold on a sec, guys. All right. Do you think at 57 starting exercising, it should be 3 meals a day or 3 V meals a day? Hold on a second. Let me go back to that comment. All right, Michael Bond. Breakfast, lunch, dinner, then what do you suggest as TR Tiger is mixed sayings? 57 starting exercise, be 3 meals a day, snacks in between. So Michael Bond, man, at 57, starting up, number one, good for you, bro. You know, really happy to hear that. Age, it's not just nothing but a number. Age is about how long you've been doing the right things or you've been doing the wrong things. If you're 57 years doing the right things, you feel strong as hell and healthy. Wrong things, not the same. But it doesn't matter because you're alive and you can still do it. So now, when it comes to, I'm gonna do some push-ups. So when it comes to meals, 3 meals with a snack, it's good to start off with. I would recommend though, eat as the minimum you can. Michael, you want to get lean. I'm assuming that, right? I'm assuming that you want to get lean. I'm not assuming that you want to bulk up and get like massive, right? You want to stay lean. I find that most people, once they get above the age of 50, they don't care about being mass monsters walking around with tons of weight, right? You care more about being functional. You care about being strong. You care about your actual functions of your body being working really well, right? Functional health, your organs performing well, your endurance, your cardiovascular system, all that stuff, right? Cycle to work is just very rounded and can shift stomach bulge. Yeah, so if you can do the 3 meals without snacks, I would recommend doing that. 3 meals, no snacks, okay? Every time when you get hungry, try doing this. Try deep breathing 20 times. Deep breathe 20 times, and then afterwards, do a inhale hold, which is where, so deep breathing, let's say in and out through your mouth. So you're doing this, right? So in through the nose, out through the mouth. After 20 times, you hold your breath and then you relax. Your breath is in your stomach and just relax. And then after, you hold it as long as you can, no matter if it's 30 seconds or if it's 2 minutes, and then you relax. If you do that, you're gonna find this will help curb your appetite, okay? A lot of times people believe that when they're hungry, that their body needs food, but that's not true, okay? It's not true. Most of the time when we're hungry, like we actually just have an appetite to eat, but our body doesn't actually need food. Here's a general rule. Here's something I've learned that is, it's really simple, but such a genius way of looking at eating. Check this out, guys. This right here, it sounds like the most logical thing. So, every time after you eat, because people are eating for energy, right? If you don't need the energy, why would you eat, right? Every time after you eat, you should feel more energized than before you ate. Okay, let me say that again. Every time after you finish your meal, you should feel more energized than before you ate. Think about it. If you feel less energy, sluggish, weaker after you ate, then what's the point in eating, right? What's the point in eating if you feel, if your performance level is going down, your energy level is going down, your mind is getting foggy? What's the point in actually eating? Isn't eating supposed to go ahead and increase everything for you, right? It's like you ever drive and you're running out of gas and your car starts to, you're like, oh shit, I need to put some gas in here, right? So you put gas in there and then it runs smoothly. It's the same idea, all right? Let's put some gas, let's put some fuel in our system. But if the fuel that we're putting in our system is either bad fuel, which our body doesn't feel well, our body feels sluggish, our body feels bloated, right? Or if we put too much fuel to where now we can't operate and do anything, that's not good. It doesn't make sense to do that. If you had to think about one principle for eating, just start keeping that in mind. Every time after you eat, you should feel better. So now you suddenly now are able to have a guideline, a really simple guideline to help you with eating. So now you eat one plate of food. How do you feel? I feel good. You eat 2 plates of food. How do you feel? Heavy, sluggish, tired, bloated. Okay, well, what does that mean? Well, I'm not feeling as good as before I started, so I should probably not eat that second meal, right? I should only eat the first meal, right? So then let's say, and also another thing is you only eat because you need the energy. So let's say your energy is high, but you feel in your stomach, right? You're getting a little hungry, but your energy is high. You're thinking clear. Don't eat. Forget all the rules about, oh, it's been 3 hours, it's been 4 hours. Doesn't matter, okay? All of those things don't really matter when it comes to wanting to operate your body to the highest level possible. If you're trying to now keep this in mind, if you're trying to put on size, if you're trying to put on weight, whatever I just said, throw that out the window. You are trying to put on weight, you need to stuff your face. I've been trying to put on weight for a long time, most of my life. How do you put on weight? Eat more and lift like crazy, okay? But now for all of you guys that don't care to put on size, get massive. You want to put on muscle, yes. You want to get stronger, yes, right? You want to be athletic, you want to be all that, yes. But you're not looking to become a bodybuilder to where you're putting on a tremendous amount of size. Stick to that rule. Because number one, now when you follow that rule, automatically everything starts to curb. Your way of eating starts to adjust because you're simply following that one principle, feeling better after you eat. Suddenly you eat certain foods, you don't feel better, you feel bloated, you feel sluggish. You start to remember, oh man, I remember Mike saying that I should feel better. Eating this food makes me feel like crap afterwards. I shouldn't eat this food anymore. Let me just find something else I should eat, right? When you eat something clean, your body feels good afterwards. When you eat the right amount of food, your body feels good afterwards. Your body is energetic. Your body feels light. But we all know what happens when we eat too much. Our body feels heavy. You know, our body doesn't feel good, right? So start following that, man. That's probably one of the simplest, but one of the best principles, man. This is something that I started doing because it makes so much sense. All right. Let me go and do some push-ups here. I'm gonna do some 4-second push-ups. 1, 2, 3, 4. Come up. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. All right. Let me see. Yo, Jim. Hold on, where's that comment at? Yo, Eugene. What's up, dude? How long do you have to wait after dinner to work out, Mike? So not hurting your stomach. It depends on the food you just ate and how much food you ate. Easy gauge is like this. This is not textbook, all right? This is me sharing what actually, with me sharing to you what I think will be best to get in shape. Textbook will say, you know, wait like hour and a half, 2 hours, right? Wait till your food completely digests, right? If you work out too early while you still have food in you, your digestion won't be the best. Your body stops digesting, you get gassy, all that stuff, all right? Now, this is me sharing with you all these years of lifting. If you didn't work out yet and you want to go and work out, but it just so happened to be you just ate a big meal, you know what I tell you to do? Go work out. Is your digestion going to not be the best? Yes, it will not be the best, okay? But I'd rather have you go ahead and get your workout in and stimulate those muscles, build on the habit of not missing a workout, than to go ahead and wait for the perfect time to work out, where your digestion is perfect, you got no food in you, right? Best timing. Forget all the perfect stuff. If you need to go and get your workout in, get your workout in. But just remember next time that if that's the time you're gonna work out, you know, then eat a light meal or you don't have to eat at all and go get your workout in, okay? So don't make it a habit of having a full stomach and then go exercise, okay? Don't make that a habit. But if you need to go work out, get it done anyways, okay? I've worked out so many times on a full stomach. I would work out starting with a full stomach, and by the time I'm done, my stomach is empty, okay? So working out always first. All right. Love you, man. Thank you. Get it done. Yeah, you got it, Jen. Michael Bond. Wow, thanks, Mike. And sorry to everyone to have taken so much time. Nah, bro, man. For my condition, nah, it's good. It's good questions, bro. Not at all. Started training properly when SBS came with you, Mike, and the eating you stretched it. Thanks. Wasn't Ari? Bueno Asir. You're welcome, Michael. Do you like almonds, Pack? Yes, I love almonds. I like to eat after, so workout fasted for sure. Spec, yep. God bless Hong Kong, Riley. Sweet, man. John, is it possible to get personal weight training session on SNS? I'm not sure. What does SNS stand for? But if you're basically asking, can I personally train you? So I'm starting a workout group soon to where this way we can work out together like this, okay? You guys can be working out over there, or I'll just do lives. And so you can ask questions, I engage, I'm training, I'm engaging. So I'm gonna be starting this soon, okay? Right now I've been working on getting everything set up. My goal is to go ahead and get everybody working out and getting out all the complications and making it so simple that it becomes the easiest thing to do. Imagine, dude, when working out is as easy as brushing your teeth. Brushing your teeth, taking a shower, okay? When it becomes that easy, everybody does it every day. You don't gotta worry about nothing. Because I see working out that easy, but I've been working out for a while. And so we're gonna be doing that. So if you wanna train, when I get that going, join in, bro. I'd love for you to join in. But in the meantime, if you like these type of sessions where I basically just go live, I get my workout in and also answer some questions for you guys. Let me know in the comments. Jacqueline's the man. Thanks, Beck. All right. See if you guys can see me okay here. Man, I'm gonna do a little stretching here. So these stretches that I do, this is what I do every morning. This is the third part of my morning practice. Same stretches. First one's a forward fold. Second one here, down the middle, pancake split. I'll get to questions in just a sec, guys. I can't see it from here. Right leg stretch. So I usually hold everything for about 60 seconds, about a minute. So the thing to focus on in stretching is being as calm and as relaxed as you can. Stay as loose as you can. It's better to go ahead and not stretch as far, but stay calm and relaxed, than to go down another few inches but be totally straining. You might be getting more flexible, but because you're straining, you're not allowing your body, you're not teaching your body how to relax. And if you don't teach your body how to relax, your body stays tense. Side bend. All right, here you go. So, camera just froze. So what I was saying is, it's better to go ahead and teach your body how to relax and stay calm than it is to go ahead and strain and get farther in your stretches. Because if you don't teach your body how to relax, your body stays really tense. If your body stays really tense, even if you look good, even if you're shredded, right? But if your body is tense, you're holding on. Your body doesn't know how to let go of emotions, like the negative emotions. Because the reason why is because every time we get stressed, we tense up. Every time when we get angry, we tense up. Frustrated, tense up, right? All of those things, we tense up. And so to go ahead and let go of all those emotions we don't like, we need to loosen up. We need to stay calm. But if we don't practice staying calm, then literally our bodies don't know how to stay calm. Our bodies don't know how to relax because it's so used to being tense. And that's one of the biggest problems right now that we humans as a race is dealing with right now, is being so stressed. And when our bodies are stressed, we run into physical problems, physical sicknesses and diseases, and also mental diseases. This is how, when our body is really tense, blood flow is restricted. Oxygen flow is restricted because literally it's like a pipeline in our body, and our body gets really tense, it stops the pipeline. Things can't flow as well in a very tense body. The density of the body changes and becomes very dense, very solid. So energy can't flow as well in a dense body. So when you have low energy in your body, and the energy frequency is also low, your emotions are really bad, right? You're always upset, angry, depressed, stressed, right? It doesn't matter how happy you think you are, your emotions is your energy. And when your energy is like that, it doesn't matter if you think, hey, let me list the reasons of why I'm happy. It doesn't matter. Inside of yourself, you can feel the uncomfortableness. It feels empty, it doesn't feel good. And then when our emotions are bad, the thoughts that we have are not good. We think with stress, we think through a frustrated, aggressive mindset. We're complaining, we're blaming. We feel that we're not good enough. We feel that we don't have enough. We feel we're not rich enough, all of those things, man. So in order to change all of that, we need to lift up the energy in our body. So this way we can change our emotions, we can change our thoughts, and then we can change our life. So this is why you stretch. This is why you learn how to relax. This way you can actually be happy. Because you can be jacked, you can be in great health, which is really, really helpful. But as you guys seen me before in six pack, you know, I mean, I was in good health on the outside, but my emotions were not the best. And you guys didn't see it on videos because I'm not here to go ahead and share my drama with you guys, you know. So that's why I don't go and talk about it. I'm being stressed, but it's true, man. So, all right, let me read a few more here. All right, let's see. JS, how do we get negative thoughts in our, how we get negative thoughts in our mind? Negative thoughts, well, quick answer is your body's too tense, your energy is really, really low, and that's why negative thoughts happen. When your energy increases and your body feels better, your mind starts to think positive thoughts. You have like anybody who thinks negative thoughts, they have like negative thought patterns, and you got to break the pattern. And so when you change the way you feel in your body, you change the energy in your body, it affects your mind directly. So people try to use their negative mind to try to create a positive mind. It's very, very difficult, and most of the time it doesn't work. People fail at it, even though they try. So, and I know because I was one of those people. So what I found is that if you change the energy in the body by becoming calm and relaxed, you'll be able to change the thoughts in your mind. Now, John, I think body make training is just a hobby. So if someone feels, oh, I hate this, do you think we still need to keep doing the workout? No, Nathan, John, if somebody feels that doing these exercises, they hate it, they don't like it, then don't do it. Okay, find something else that you like to do. There's not a one way is the best. Okay, if somebody wants to go ahead and they'd like to go jog outside, go jog. If you like to go swim, go swim. If you'd like to go play basketball, like my friend Peter, he loves playing basketball. He plays basketball like crazy. Go play basketball. Just make sure that whatever activity you're doing, that, what I'm saying, gotta get my zapper. These mosquitoes are really getting me. Just make sure that the activity that you're doing allows your body to stay calm, gets your body to be relaxed. So it doesn't matter what it is, okay? Just do something that's physical, that's good for your body and your mind. So if you don't like doing body weight training or you don't like doing the stuff that I'm doing, don't do it, okay? Even if it is more effective than something else, it doesn't matter, okay? Every single thing that we can do, we can make it more effective. We can change up certain things, you know, but you got to make sure you enjoy what it is you're doing, okay? So if somebody doesn't know what to do or they like doing these things, go do it. If you like doing something else, somebody likes to go dance. They like to just dance. They don't like to do structured anything. They like to freestyle it. Cool, do that. If somebody likes to sit there and paint, well, that's great. You can do it, but you still need to do something physical, all right? So make sure you're doing something physical and make sure you enjoy it. That's the biggest thing. If you enjoy it, then you'll do it. You'll enjoy doing it. You'll look forward to doing it. But if you don't enjoy doing something, it doesn't matter how good it is. It doesn't matter how effective it is. You're forcing yourself to do something, okay? There's no reason to do that. There are infinite amount of activities that you can do. So many. If you guys know, like I like to roller skate. I like to like rollerblade, inline skate. You know, I go skate around the streets of Bali here. I love it. You know, it's super fun. You know, so then I do it. You know, I enjoy doing it. Doesn't matter, right? Find something that you enjoy doing. All right. Adrian, hey Mike, what's your view on muscle ups? I can't do them yet, but are they necessary for improving physique, or should I limit myself to high pull-ups? Thanks. I have problems doing muscle ups too. That's something that I'm gonna go work on getting. So, but the answer, no, you don't have to do muscle ups to build a muscular body, right? I don't do muscle ups and my body's muscular, but they are really effective. You know, they are really effective. It's like doing a burpee versus just doing push-ups and doing squats. You know, the burpee kind of combines both of them. So it is really effective. But if you can't do it, don't worry about it. You know, you can still get in good shape. Just do what you can, you know. JS, how long does it take to change our body energy level? It just depends every person. What I would suggest, JS, is doing the morning practice every single morning. Don't worry about how long it takes. You know, you will feel the effects right away. But as far as where your energy level is at and where you want to go, it's different for everybody. Okay, there's so many different variables, like our work, the people around us, our diet, how long our pattern's been, all that stuff. But the most important thing is create a habit. Create a habit of doing the daily practice. Okay, again, either my daily practice or someone else's daily practice. Make sure you calm your body down and stay relaxed and just make it a habit. If you make it a habit, you will change your energy level. It's inevitable. Okay, but just create a daily habit. Don't worry about the time it takes to do it. You will change. You will make a difference right away. Every single repetition of exercise that you do will make a difference. So just start doing it. Simply Deep 1985, Mike Chain. How's your night going, man? What's up, Mike Chat? Yeah, my night's going good, man. I was working out a little bit and I decided to jump on and do a live with you guys. Tony Montana, you have drama? You have drama? Not much, not much. But once in a while, I get into a little bit. But to be very honest, dude, not very much anymore. I learned how to be able to overcome it. You overcome it by just not fighting. Somebody wants to fight with you, fine, you win. Okay, cool. There's no more fighting. All right, let's see. What kind of diet? Jarwan2 Gamer. Jar12 Gamer. Hi, Mike. What kind of diet to quick fat loss, intermediate fasting, eat 1 meal a day with carb, rice, or using keto, intermediate fasting? I got trouble when don't eat fruit and rice. I got trouble when don't eat fruit and rice. Either one of them work. Keto, intermediate fasting, they both work good. Okay? Stick to one and just try it out. There's no magic diet. They all work, man. Spec, Mike gotta go. Cheers from Pete, Mary, Joe, Zoes, and Jaden from Ontario, Canada. All right, man. See you later, Spec. Yeah, but we can tell you're very zen now. Danger poop. Thanks, man. It's a lot of training. All right, let me go back to Chan. I seriously started working out because of you. I appreciate you, man. Big thanks. Yeah, you're welcome. Welcome to Chan. Julio, Caesar. Oh, Mike from Brazil. What's up, dude? Amberus, is there any vitamins you recommend for people to take for health? There's a lot of my vitamins. I usually tell people to take like a multivitamin, things like that. To be really honest, here's the thing. I don't give a lot of advice on things that I don't study a lot on or I just don't do. Do I take vitamins? No, I don't take vitamins, but it doesn't mean that it's really bad for you. I've spent many years taking all kinds of supplements and now I don't take anything. I don't take no vitamins or nothing, So the answer is, do you need them? No, you don't need them, but it doesn't mean that it's bad for you, Let's see. Robin, do you speak to Danny Rose still? You two were great together. You still do the M100s? No, I haven't talked to Dan lately, M100s, I don't do the M100s lately. But if you try my flow training, it's pretty intense. I would say it's pretty comparable to M100s. I can do M100s no problem now, easy, because the stuff I'm doing right now is pretty intense. Pao Yang, good stuff, Mike. Into calisthenics myself. Would you make guided meditation videos? Yes, man. That's something I want to do in the future, for sure. Where did you learn about energy level? Shit, man. JS. The reason I left Six Pack was to learn all that stuff. I learned it from books, from teachers, all kinds of teachers. I never taken any course. Just like all the stuff that I know about exercising, I never taken any certification classes of any sort. The way I got my PT certification, I got one online really quick. Took like 3 hours. I'm done. It's like I don't need to go to a textbook to learn. There's so many other ways to learn. I just learn it from experience. Same thing with energy. Most of the stuff with energy, I will learn about it, read about it, and then I'll study it and I would practice it. Biggest thing is practicing it. I practice it, I would feel my energy levels. I would feel it. There's all these ways to be able to tell where your energy level is at. You can feel it in your body. Your body is really light. If you're light on your feet, your energy level is higher. If you are feeling feeling really at ease, you can feel it. You can feel it in your bridge right here. If there's pressure right here, you can feel it in your head. There's all these areas that you can feel it. But I've been working on it for a while, so I'm becoming a lot more sensitive to energy, than before. There is so much more progression that I can get to. But I'm at a place right now to where at least I can feel the energy, and it just took a lot of practice. One of the things when I first started is I wasn't able to be very sensitive in my body. And so my body was so tense. That's why I keep telling people, start to relax so you can start to feel the energy level in your body. You can start to literally feel the movement. You can feel energy moving in your body straight up. You can feel the vibration moving in your body. But it takes like having to really go into your body and start to relax and bring that attention there. If you don't practice on it, if you're moving too much and able to relax, you'll never feel it. It's like there's nothing there. But in reality, it's in there and it's moving. Once you start to be able to become sensitive to it, then you can tell when it changes, you know? So I've done a lot of study on that. And over time, I started figuring out what moves changes my energy level, what type of thoughts change my energy level, you know, things like that. I can't feel my energy in fat. Well, Muhammad doesn't directly have to do with being fat, dude. But being fat, a lot of your pipelines in your body is clogged up, you know. That means like your blood is more clogged up, your oxygen doesn't flow as well. So best thing to do is start doing the morning practice, start working out, you know, do my morning flow training, start off with 7 minutes, just do it every morning. Not only will you start to lose weight and be stronger, but you'll start to be able to feel your energy. So Nachan, you're never gonna do weight training. I still like the way you train now, but yeah, that jack mic was crazy. Well, you know, it's not, I don't know if I'll get back into it later on, you know. One of the biggest things, John, is I want to be able to show people that you can build a really strong, athletic, muscular body just by doing body weight training. Just by doing, not just body weight training, by doing the basic stuff. Doing a shitload of push-ups, close grip, wide grip, dips, and all that stuff, pull-ups. And so that's why I'm doing it right now. Okay, also because it's easy and I like it. Am I gonna do other stuff in the future? I don't know, probably, you know. But right now, my main goal, I was sharing this in another video, my main goal is not to get into the best shape of my life. Okay, I'm gonna be totally honest with you, man. You know, my goal is not to do that. My goal is to help everybody else get into good shape. And I realized that the simplest, the most effective way for people to get into good shape is to build a habit of training, a habit of a daily practice, first thing in the morning time, okay? And in order, the fastest way to build a habit, the only way to build a habit is to repetition, doing the same thing over and over and over again. Every single sport, every single thing that somebody learns how to do well, they did it through repetition. It's like a basketball player. They can do all these crazy moves and stuff, right? But they had to get really good at running, get really good at dribbling, shooting, before they're able to do all the fancy stuff. If they can't do that, they can't do any of the fancy stuff. Those are the foundational moves. And the same thing, the exercise that I do, they're basically just the foundation moves. You know, push-ups, pushing, right? Handstand push-ups, pike push-ups, they're all just push-ups. They're all pushing. Dips, it's just pushing. It's all the foundational pushing. Pull-ups, all kinds of pull-ups. They're all the pulling foundations, you know? What's the foundation for legs? Squats, you know, bodyweight squats, lunges, you know, jumping. Those are all the foundations. So when we train the foundations and we get really, really strong at the foundational moves, then we are able to progress to everything else if we wanted to. So a push-up can easily go into more aggressive and more intense variations if we want to go ahead and become stronger and stronger. Or we can go ahead and just literally do more volume or do more repetition. So, but going back though to, by doing the same exercises over and over again, it allows someone to build a habit in exercising, a habit in daily training, and it also gets them in great shape. Because number one, these are the most effective exercises. Every exercise is just a variation of those exercises. Lat pull down, rolls, deadlifts, they're all just a variation of these basic bodyweight exercises. And in reality, it's actually a lot of times easier to go ahead and do something on a machine than it is to use bodyweight. Because bodyweight, you can't adjust it. It's like, how many pull-ups can somebody do? But how many lat pull-downs can somebody do, right? You set a setting of like 5 or 40 pounds and you can do these all day long. But how many pull-ups can somebody do all day long, right? So a lot of times, it's actually a little tougher to do bodyweight for some cases. But the goal I'm getting back to saying though is that when somebody is doing these same exercises over and over again every single day, they actually get into better shape because number one, they're able to build a habit for exercising. When somebody builds a habit for exercising, they're able to actually get in shape because most people don't even work out. They just want to exercise, but they don't actually do it. They exercise a little bit and then they stop. And then they start back again, then they stop. And they keep doing the start, stopping. Every time they start, they do something new. And then they stop because they couldn't build a habit of working out, right? Something got into their way, and before I know it, they stop. And then when they start, they go, I need to do something new because that last thing I was doing didn't work. But it's not that it didn't work. It's just that somebody didn't do it long enough. So then they go into the next new thing, right? So then you got all these apps and you got all these programs out there talking about, hey, new exercise every single day to keep you on track, or, you know, keep your muscles guessing, muscle confusion, new workouts every week, every month, you know, like as a way of saying new is better, new is better. No, man, new is terrible. Think about it. If you're trying to build a habit, are you going to build is it faster, easier to build a habit if you're doing new stuff all the time? Or is it better if you are doing the same thing all the time to build a habit? Think about it. You know, imagine somebody's trying to go ahead and get good at doing something, but they have to do different things all the time. Then how long would it take? You know, Bruce Lee had a really good line. I love the quote. He says, I am not afraid of the man that practiced 10,000 punches one time. I'm afraid of the man that practices one punch 10,000 times. Because that one punch is so powerful, so effective. And it's the same idea. Who cares if somebody only does this one exercise sometimes and all of the other, they don't master anything. They become a jack of all trades and a master of none. But if you go ahead and do the most effective exercises and you do them all the time, every single day, until your body straight up masters them, then if you did want to progress into more fancier stuff, you can. But you would already have a strong foundation for your body. Your body already looks phenomenal. Imagine when you can do 70, 80, 100 push-ups in a row, right? Imagine that. Imagine if you can do 20, 30 pull-ups straight up in a row. Like, how do you think your back's gonna look, you know? If you can go ahead and knock out 20 leg raises straight up, like, how strong do you think you're gonna be? My phone's about to die here. And so if somebody asks, well, how about overtraining? Don't I need to go ahead and change it up? Change it up because my muscles will get used to something, you know? Well, if we look at sports training, if somebody is practicing, let's say, dribbling every day, do they get better at dribbling or do they get worse at dribbling? If somebody is practicing this three-pointer from this line every single day, choo, 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 every day, do you think they're going to get worse at it or they're going to get better at it? All right. Now, imagine someone doing push-ups every day. Are they going to get better at doing push-ups or are they going to get worse at doing push-ups? You know? So, how many people have you ever seen can do, let's say, 70 push-ups, 80 push-ups in a row, but they have no triceps, they have no delts, they have no chest? How many people you ever see that? Zero. Okay. If somebody can do 70, 80 push-ups in a row, for example, they've got muscles, all right? The body will always adapt to whatever we do, okay? When someone does the same exercise every single day, they build a habit. All of those exercises become simple to do. And when someone is able to do all the foundational exercises for their entire body, and they're able to do it with ease, their body is badass already. Their body is so strong. Their body has so much endurance, has all this stuff, has all the strength now. And now if they want to take it to the next level, they can either do more progressive stuff, right? You can start doing clapping push-ups, one-handed push-ups, all these things. You can start doing muscle-ups, you know? You can start doing jumping squats, one-legged squats. You can just go on and on with the different stuff. But here's the thing. If somebody wanted to get to that level, but you know, you may not even care to. Imagine you're looking good, you're strong, you can knock out 70 to 80 push-ups straight up. You don't care about advancing or being able to do 120 push-ups now. Maybe you do or maybe you don't. Maybe you go, you know what, I'm in great shape. I'm just gonna do the same thing every day, stay at this awesome shape, not care about progressing on this level, but now I like to go and start doing hikes, or I wanna start dancing, or I wanna go do whatever, right? Spend my time doing something else. Cool, you can do that. And then you'll still stay in really good shape because you just stick to the same practice that you're doing every single day. And your fitness level will continuously stay that way. Hey, booty. So that's why I'm doing the body weight exercises. And that's the reason why you do the same moves every single day. So you can build a habit and you can get really, really strong and muscular. Hey, boy. Yeah, hello. Doing. Really? Hey, I'm on video right now. You don't care? This dog. He's a cutie. Yeah, I love you too, boy. Do not go to doctors. They do not care about you. Ottoman Papyrus. You know, I haven't read some of the comments. You know, the thing with doctors, man, that's another thing. Doctors, they have the best intentions, I would like to believe. And I really think that they really do want to help people. But the thing is, like, how many doctors you see are actually healthy and strong themselves? Most of the time you see them, they're just as out of shape as their clients. The only difference is they have an MD behind their name and they have X amount of years in doctor school, right? But the thing is, what they're teaching is regurgitated information based on, quote, science, based on these studies. But their studies is limited. They don't understand certain things that the body has. Like, for example, they don't measure energy. They don't measure emotions. They don't realize, like, emotions actually change the physiology of the energies, of the physiology of the body. They don't understand things like epigenetics, which basically means we can change our genetics, right? They don't understand things like consciousness or awareness, you know? There's so many things that they're not taking in. They don't understand, like, when energy meridians, they go, if you have a problem here, the problem's got to be here, you know? They can't be somewhere else. But how about if the problem here is coming from your brain, coming from your mind? How about if the problem here is coming from some other area in the body? There's so many, our body is like a whole system. We can't just look at it as if there's a problem right here, then this is also the source of the problem. This might be hurting, but the source may come from somewhere else, right? So that's the thing with doctors, you know? So how many times you hear about doctors going, oh my God, in all my years of practice, I've never seen this and this and this. Or the thousands and thousands and thousands of stories about doctors saying you're not gonna live past the age of this, or you only got 6 months, or you're never gonna walk again, or you're never gonna play sports again, etc. And all these people go, I'm not gonna listen to it, I'm just gonna do it. And then they do it. And they go and share their story about how they overcame something, you know, overcame all this stuff. It's like, they're just not up to speed with the understanding of the body. They're doing their best, I have to say, but I don't go to doctors because of that. And so I just started figuring out how to heal my body from a young age, you know. Doctors say, like, you're sick, go lay in bed, you know, go lay in bed and relax. Hell no, I never did that. I actually did the exact opposite, and I healed faster than most people. Primed Archie, Mike, Automil was answering my question for you. Sweet. Awesome, man. I was asking if you had any advice on getting over heartache, depression from getting left by someone you loved. I've been, like, depressed for, like, the past 6 months over it. Artemis Papyrus. Exactly, Mike. They do not ask how you are thinking, peeing, pooping. Yep. Do you drink rain, Sandy? If it's, like, organic rainwater. Marty, imagine. Mike, you should write a book about the higher self and how to find a new level of consciousness. I would love to. I was starting to write a book, but there's so many things I want to do, and I figured out the fastest way. I'm not the best writer, to be honest, man. You know, maybe I can hire a ghostwriter and just have them write it, right? But that's why I'm jumping on videos, and I love doing these things. So this way I can just share with you guys straight up. You know, it's probably faster for me to do that. So, but yeah, eventually I wanna write a book on that. You know, there's a lot of stuff to share on these things, you know. But Jordan, hey Mike, can I do your whole flow training every day? Let me rest at least 24 hours between so my muscles don't get too fatigued and tired. So John, yes, you can do the whole flow training. I wanna touch up on that for you guys that are questioning about that. So if you look at the 60-minute flow training that's currently on YouTube right now, I'm actually coming out with another one I'll be posting. And there's like some lives that I just recorded, you know, and I just put them on there. You can do the whole thing. Any exercise that you do that you don't feel really good on, maybe it's a little tough for you, or maybe you're just like really sore, then skip it. Skip it or modify. So for example, let's say in part two. The part two is a little tougher because we're going 12 minutes, no rest. You're just going from back to back. So let's say you're doing the first move, which is push-ups. You're doing push-ups for 60 seconds. If somebody's having a hard time doing push-ups, they can do them on your knees. You can do them off like a counter. You can do them off like a kitchen counter, off of a couch, off of a table. Do them on your knees, or simply just do a few and just rest. So you can modify any single move that's in the flow training practice, okay? Anytime where you need to rest, just go ahead and rest. I don't have any real scheduled rest throughout the 60-minute practice, so we just kind of keep going. So anytime you rest, just need to rest. The biggest thing, there's a couple of training principles in there, okay? One of the training principles is about not competing, not comparing, okay, and not judging. That means you don't compete with other people. You don't compete with yourself. You don't compete with yourself from yesterday, okay? You don't do that, okay? You just do the best you can. But the best you can is changing at every moment, which means you're always doing your best, which means thumbs up for you for just doing it, okay? So many people, they spend so much time judging themselves. They spend so much time comparing themselves to other people. And when that happens, all they do is waste energy on thinking. They overthink things. They start to feel bad. They start to feel bad about themselves. If I compare myself to somebody who's better than me, who's like, let's say, who's stronger than me, then I feel less. I feel like I'm weak. But if I compare myself to somebody, mosquitoes, man. If I compare myself to somebody who is weaker than me, so now I feel strong. So then, if we just stop comparing altogether, then we solve the problem of either feeling good or just feeling bad. We solve the problem because what happens when we compare ourselves to somebody who is less than us, who's like weaker than us, then what happens is we look down on them. Hell, I'm stronger than you are. I'm more superior than you are, right? I'm better than you. So now we're like sitting on this high horse, right? So now we don't look at people the same way. I'm like, I'm above you. I'm better than you. And then you look at somebody who's better than you and you're like, oh, wow, God, man, you're so awesome. And now I feel so less compared to you. There's no reason for any of that. If we just stop judging and we just stop competing and we just do the best we can, then every one of us is enough the way we are currently right now. Doesn't matter if we have goals, right? We want to be stronger, or we want to be more athletic, we want to be healthier, we want to be happier, we want to have more money, all this stuff. But we don't have to feel less on the path to getting there. We don't have to feel bad on the journey. We can feel good the entire time. So therefore, whenever we reach a goal, we feel good the entire way through. We don't go from feeling good and feeling bad and feeling good and feeling bad. Okay, so that's one of the training principles that we practice in the flow training method. And so that means you can work out with people that are really, really better in shape than you. And somebody is doing 50 push-ups in 60 seconds, and you do 5 push-ups in 60 seconds. It's all good, okay? Somebody's able to do another move you can't do, it's all good. You're able to do something and this person has to sit out, they're about to pass out, it's all good, you see? Imagine when we can all come together and everybody can support each other to become healthier and then support each other to become happier. Like, how awesome would that be? People are able to be accountable for each other. People are able to motivate each other. It's not about needing to be in the same shape as each other, same fitness level, okay? When we do that, now we can start to build community around being in shape. We can start to build community around becoming happier. So now we're lifting everybody up. A lot of times people try to push other people down so this way they feel like they're higher. But why? Why don't we just go ahead and lift everybody up, right? Because we may not be at the top of our game every single day. Maybe today I feel strong. I'm sharing something good with you guys. And then tomorrow I don't feel good. And I get online and then I see somebody else's video going, dude, you can do it. And I feel better, right? So we all need a hand sometimes. But when we come together and we stop competing and we just start to help each other, then everybody's improving. Everybody is helping everybody. And so that's how I imagine it to be. That would be awesome. And one of the things that we have to do in order to get to that state of being, the way to do that is we have to practice not competing, not comparing ourselves constantly, and not judging other people. So if somebody is in a competition, they're in a bodybuilding competition, they're in some sport, or any type of competition, And they may ask, like, how do I do that? You know, how do I do that? What happens if I like to compete? It's fun, you know? Well, I get it. It's cool. Then you can, on the day of competition, whatever it is, you know, compete, do your best, try to win, okay? But when you're practicing, you don't have to constantly go ahead and compete with like other people, you just constantly do your best. But by not competing, you actually are able to do better because you take the pressure off. When somebody has a lot of pressure and they feel like, man, I really need to do good, or I suffer a negative consequence of I suck, you know, we start to blame ourselves, judge ourselves, or I'm gonna lose this if I don't go ahead and push harder. All of this pressure actually makes us perform less. It lowers our productivity, you know? So on all levels, it's better to not compete and not compare, right? If we still compete for competition, cool. But during our training, during our practice, we don't need to do that. Okay, so that's one of the training principles. There's about 6 training principles, you know, that are super simple, but they are really, really powerful. And they not only help somebody during the actual flow training to do the training better, but it'll actually help somebody in everyday life. Okay, and that's the way that specifically did it that way. You know, so this way we are practicing something that's good for our body and mind, but it's also good for like real life. Because imagine when you do that in real life, when you stop judging and stop comparing and stop competing with people. Now you're at the office and stuff, you're not judging people. I mean, judging is like the fundamental thing that creates all the problems. If we don't judge, there's no more problems. If we don't judge, there's not all of the conflicts. They're gone. There's no more conflicts. All of that stuff comes from judging. So it's not going to be overnight, you know. I started practicing not judging July of 2017. I remember the specific month. I don't remember what day it was, but I remember the specific month when I started practicing that, because I realized I was judging like crazy, you know, like I couldn't stop judging. I didn't know how to stop. So I just started practicing, and it took me a long time. And now I rarely judge, you know, like it's like life is just so much easier. You're just happier that way. All right, let me see. Dennis, cool to see you live, man. Glad I found you again after training with your good old day videos 5 years ago. Thanks, Dennis. PUA Benedict, do you have a technique for running long distance and improving timing? Nah, bro. I wish I did, but I don't run long distance, so yeah, sorry, I don't have a technique for that one, man. Ottoman Papyrus. Primed Archie, sorry to hear heartbreaks are never easy. I promise you, even if you feel right now, it will get better, and you can't live without that person. It will change in the future. Yeah, Prime Archie, man. You know, these things take time, but the time is up to you. Somebody can be low for 6 days and be okay, or they can be low for 6 months or 6 years, you know. The biggest thing is, number one, just remember that all emotions, like if somebody feels depressed, it's an emotion. If somebody feels sad, it's an emotion. Yeah, if they feel angry, all this are emotions. Emotions are energy in motion. That's what an emotion is. Emotion, energy in motion. So imagine if emotion is just like a name for the energy. Like if you guys look up map of consciousness, you know, David Hawkins created a map called Map of Consciousness that shows the energy frequencies. And a low frequency energy has a low emotional state, and a higher frequency is a higher state, and it keeps doing this, right? So let's say, I don't have it memorized. So let's just say, for example, let's say energy frequency 50. This could be at apathy, for example. Somebody's like so depressed, right? They don't even have the will to live, right? They're just like, oh man, life really sucks. So this is at an energy frequency of 50, for example. But let's say somewhere along the scale is higher. Let's say they're at an energy frequency of 100 right here, double. The 100 frequency, the emotion is like anger. And anger is not good, but anger is better than depression. Anger is better than apathy. Because at least anger, there's motivation, there's drive. I'm gonna screw you, I'm gonna go do something, I'm gonna prove them wrong, fuck that, blah, 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 right? So their energy level is actually higher. They're actually more motivated. When somebody's at the apathy level with the frequency of 50, they don't want to do anything. You know, hey, you can't let them talk to you like, they can't let them treat you like that. I don't care. Yeah, they can do whatever they want. I don't care. I don't want to live. Like there's just no life in them, right? So as the frequency starts to rise, the emotions start to rise. And then you get to courage, and then you get to it's like neutral, courage, love, and all this stuff. It just keeps going up higher. Understanding, all of these are higher frequencies. So going back, if you're feeling depressed or if you're feeling sad, if there's a story in your mind that's causing you to feel that way, there's a perception, there's a point of view. All it is just a point of view, okay? If you look at it from another point of view, they may not look as bad, but maybe from this current point of view, for example, a person's looking at a certain point of view, and this point of view, it's bad, right? Life really sucks. In another point of view, it's okay, The thing is, like, we have infinite amount of point of views that we can look at every situation. Even if we know that there's another point of view, the way to actually get out of that emotion is to change the energy. Because we can either do two things. We can totally change our point of view, believe this point of view so much, this new point of view that makes us feel empowered, that makes us feel really strong, this new point of view that is so empowering, right? Somebody's like depressed, they feel really bad, and they change their point of view to having courage, right? If they can do that and they believe it so much, then that belief in their mind would change the energy in their body. So the result is someone feels strong. They're feeling this courage to go ahead and now take this new action, and their perception, their mind is now different. The other way is you change the energy in your body. You don't try to change the view in your mind. You change the energy in your body. The energy in your body changes, the emotion changes, and then now the viewpoint changes. They both work, So I tried for a long time to go ahead and do it through my mind only, right? Change my point of view of looking at it, change my thoughts, go look at it this way and this way. And, I tried that. I tried reading affirmations every single day. I wrote something called my memorandum to God. It started off as being a paragraph and turned into like 3 pages. Every single day I would rehearse and just verbatim, like 3 times a day, and it helped some, it was good. It was helpful. I was just saying it without, I would read it every day. So I memorized the whole thing, but it wasn't as effective as I wanted it to be. I did this for a few months. The most effective thing that I found is when I did a physical practice that changed the energy in my body. And then when my energy in my body changed, my perception in my mind changed. My thoughts in my head changed from changing the energy in my body. Okay. I'll show you, I'll tell you like here's a real life example, from today. So I was having a discussion with Natalia earlier. We're talking about maybe moving from here, maybe moving to another part of Bali, closer to the beach. So we're discussing about it. And so then some tension started happening. We couldn't figure out what's the best way. And so I'm like, okay, so now I feel the tension in my body. And so instead of trying to go ahead and hear the thoughts are like, oh man, what should I do about this? What should I do about this? All these questioning, all this stuff, right? Oh man, why it can't be this way? You kind of hear yourself complaining, da-da-da-da-da. So instead of trying to go ahead and reason with all these thoughts, try to go ahead and find the best solution, I didn't do that. You know what I did? There's the kitchen behind me. I went into the kitchen. I just kind of sat down on the ground, and I started doing some yoga asanas, or basically some stretching. You can call it stretching, yoga, so it's all the same, okay? I started doing these moves to release the tension. And I spent maybe about 25 minutes. And then after that, I got up. My mind was clear. My emotions changed completely. And I felt calm and good. I went from being tense to relaxed, back to normal. The solution, we still needed to find a solution to things, but there wasn't this frustrated feeling. There wasn't this stressed feeling anymore. There was some frustration and stress coming on, and I literally just let it go in my body. And when I let it go in my body, my mind stopped thinking all those thoughts. Okay. So that's one of the things that I've learned. When you want to let go of stress, when you want to let go of like this constant thinking of problems. You can't figure things out, or there's one way of looking at things, you know, and we want to change it, but we don't know how. We keep trying to think about it because we're upset, right? Let's say you just got into an argument or a debate or something, right? You're upset. Instead of trying to think a solution, or even trying to think about anything when you're upset, if you do, you're basically thinking through a perception of anger. You're thinking through a perception of upsetness. So there's no point to go ahead and do that, because the filter in which somebody's looking at their life, or looking at the other person, looking at the situation, is through anger, through upsetness, through stress. So they can't find the best solution, okay? So it doesn't matter. There's no point to do that. Instead, get rid of the emotion. Change the emotion from being angry to being calm, to being peaceful again, to being relaxed. And then look at that situation. But now you're looking at the situation through a lens of peacefulness, through a lens of calmness. The situation hasn't changed. It still is what it is. But the way we're looking at it has changed. So now through this perception of calmness, through this perception of peace, we can see a solution that is aligned with calmness and peace. If we are angry and we are trying to figure out a solution, we will create a solution that supports anger, because we are angry when we figured it out. So you don't come up with any good things if you're in that mindset. Okay, so that's something really important to remember, especially if you are having a conversation with somebody, you know, especially a loved one, girlfriend, boyfriend, or kids or something, you know, boss, coworker. If you're angry, best thing to do is just to not have a conversation. You know, if you can postpone it to later on, or just keep it really, really short, because you can end up ruining relationships just because you're mad and you said something that you didn't mean, or, you know, you're a little harsh about it. Even when people are trying to go ahead and say something in a nice way, but because they're mad, they can't say it in a nice way, you know? Just try, right? Next time you get mad, try to say something nice. It's just, you're just like, okay, you're just like, you know, you can't do it. It's like, even if you try your best, somebody's watching you, they're like, I can feel that anger coming off of you, you know? It doesn't work. You got to calm down first, you know? So that's the thing about emotions, you know? What do you feel about the Secret documentary? Well, JS, I watched the Secret documentary when I was 22 years old the first time. And it was so good, but I couldn't grasp the idea. What do you mean, ask the universe? What do you mean, like? And so I watched it 2 more times. And the third time I go, okay, I get it, but I still don't know like how it can happen. You know, what is this idea of asking the universe? I mean, I don't believe in magic, so what the heck? So this is an interesting story. So here's what I did. So if you guys ever watched The Secret, if you watched The Secret, type in yes. I know you did, JS, right? But any of you guys ever watched The Secret documentary? If you have, type in yes right now. Let me know. You know, if you I don't see any any yeses right now, so maybe you guys haven't. Not me. Okay. Yes. Pinkman. Cool. Abris. Yes. I'm going to. Jicky. Cool. Natalia. Yes. Hey, you on to? Natalia is my lady. She's on. She goes, yes. Huh. All right. PUA. Nope. Fake name. I will after. Nope. Okay, cool. So yeah, about half. All right, guys. Well, so The Secret, that documentary changed my life. And I'm going to tell you an interesting story about that. So the documentary basically said, I'm just going to sum it up. So, you know, definitely watch it, because there's a lot more than what I'm basically saying. Basically, the documentary says, if you go ahead, whatever you ask the universe, whatever you think of and whatever you think and feel, if those 2 things are aligned, whatever it is, it will come to you. So if I go, I want to go ahead and make $1 million a month. I mean, that's like crazy. It's a lot of money, right? But if I feel that also, and I can think that, and I really believe that means my body and my mind is aligned. My thoughts and my feelings are aligned with it. I'm so confident on it, right? It's not this, I'm thinking, but my body goes, hell no. There's this doubt feeling, you know what I mean? You got to be totally aligned. If you're aligned with it, whatever it is that you're wanting will come true. You just got to be aligned to it. So that means if I go, I want to make $1 million a month. That's like a big ass goal. But I'm not willing to go and do the work. I'm not willing to go and fly to that state or that country or take this opportunity, right? It's not going to happen. But if I take the opportunities that come to me because I'm putting that out there, my thoughts have frequency and my feelings to bring it back, it will happen. That's a general idea. It doesn't matter what it is. It can be money, it can be love, it can be, health, whatever it is. Whatever we put our attention to, our thoughts into, we will create, just as long as our feelings and our thoughts are aligned. Okay? Doesn't matter what it is, entirely open. So when I heard this, I'm like, okay, so I'm 22 at the time, and I'm like, okay, well, I'm gonna test this out, all right? So what am I gonna do? Well, I'm gonna test it out and I'm gonna see if it works. And so I thought about the one thing that I really want to test out on, which is money, right? I'm a young guy. All I want to do is make more money. That's right, like many young guys do. So I'm like, okay. At the time, the most amount of money I've ever made in 1 month is like $6,000. And that's the most. That means it's not every month. On that time, I was averaging anywhere from about $2,500 a month to about $4,000 a month on average, US dollars. And so 6,000 was like top end, and it only happened like once or twice. And so in one part of the movie, in the documentary, he talked about, putting up these vision boards, right? This vision board is basically where you put a board and you put all the things you want on it, right? And then if you look at it all the time, it'll imprint into your mind, and then you start to be able to manifest it. So I'm like, okay, cool. So I wrote on this piece of paper, I am making $12,000 a month. I wasn't doing it, but one of the examples was to say to do that. And I decided to make the number $12,000 a month because it was double the most amount of money I've ever made in my life. And there could be no accident that I'm gonna suddenly double my income in 1 month when I have no plans on how to do it. I have no idea what I'm gonna change and what I'm currently doing. I was doing loans at the time. I was doing mortgages, And so I don't know how it's gonna come, but the secret says you don't need to know how it's gonna happen. You simply need to go and ask the universe. Just put it out there and it will come to you. Some way, somehow, you don't need to figure that out. You just need to believe that you can do it. So I'm like, okay, cool. So I wrote, I am making $12,000 per month, and I put it everywhere in my house. Like I couldn't turn and not see it. I put it on my fridge. I put it in my closet. Like you open up the clothes, the hangers, and then behind that, there's that, right? I put it in my car. I put it in my phone, everywhere, right? On my mirror, in my restroom. I am making $12,000 a month on just regular piece of paper, red. So I'm like, okay, cool. And then just work like normal. All right, so I go to work every day. At the end of the month, I didn't make $12,000, but I made $11,864. And I remember sitting there and just looking at the check, and I didn't know it was going to happen because in loans, I was working for a broker. And so basically, if you guys know anything about mortgage loans, it doesn't take just like 1 or 2 days to close a deal, It takes like, sometimes you work on a deal for weeks, sometimes even months. And so everything all closed within like the last like 4 or 5 days. And suddenly, I didn't know if I was gonna make a lot of money or nothing at all. And then suddenly they just started closing. At the end, I got this check for $11,864. And I'm like, whoa, this is crazy. This is the most amount I've ever made. And here I am, wanting to create this goal of 12,000 and shit. I just made almost 12,000. That's gonna make a believer out of me. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, oh my God, this is real. But it's not magic because I was working the entire month and I was seeing how this was like happening. Do I just type in the secret documentary? Yeah, Chicky, you just type that in. On YouTube? Maybe. I'm not sure. It might be on YouTube. You can check it out. It might be. I think it's on Netflix. I believe seen it on Netflix before, but try it on YouTube. It might be on there. So I realized, oh crap, this is true, but it wasn't magic because I was doing the loans, I was working and all this stuff, and I saw how I was able to do it. Okay. One tip here. Anything that you want to create, you can create it. The variable is time. If you believe in something and you keep your vision, your focus, your attention on that thing, it doesn't matter like what it is. If you just keep it on there, you will create what it is you want. Doesn't matter what it is. Okay. However, if don't have any guidelines, you don't have any morals or any if you have this mentality of I will do exactly whatever it takes, and there is no like right or wrong, like if it's just whatever it takes, you'll probably get it faster, but it may not align with your values. It may not align with your integrity. It may not be something that's the best. You may end up hurting people. You may end up breaking the law. You may do a lot of stuff, but it will happen faster. You see what I mean? So in other words, what I suggest is if you absolutely want something really, really bad, but it's not this life or death thing, it's just, you want this thing really bad. It's a goal you always want. Then make sure that just go for it, but have certain guidelines, This way you don't just throw all of your values out the door. Because if you did, you will accomplish it a little faster, but you may not like the way that you accomplish certain things, okay? And so I'm saying this from firsthand experience. I learned, because going back to my story, those loans, one of the loans I did, hairy ass loan, okay? And when I say hairy, that means I had to pull a shitload of strings. Not the best, not the best. I would not do that again moving forward. But I really wanted to go ahead and see if I can really make that 12,000, and I got really close, but not in the best methods, Had to do some freaking pulling streets, some shady ass shit to go ahead and make it happen. So that's the thing, Also, another friend did something similar, not with loans, but something else. And she also accomplished her goal. She blew past her goal. Same technique. I am making X amount of dollars per month. But again, without having these guidelines on how to do it, if it's money, for example, how are you going to make that money? There's so many ways to make money, right? You can do things that are aligned with their integrity, that is bringing value to people, or you can do something that's really shady. You can do something that's like could hurt people, but you can still make the money, you know what I mean? So make sure that you're aligned. Make sure that's like, okay, whatever I'm going to go for, but I'm staying within my values. I'm staying within what I know is right or wrong. I rather go longer to go and get to my goal, because you'll always get to your goal. It may take a little longer time, but do it right. So this way you can sleep good at night. So this way you have good karma. So this way you're not doing things that aren't good. Okay. So yeah, that's why I got to share about the Secret documentary. Hong Kim, great to see you again, Mike. Good to see you, man. Marty, Mike, I feel a connection with you spiritually. Love the podcast you did. I too have had an awakening, man. Any thoughts on the subject? Yeah, dude. Let me ask you guys a question. You guys listening right now? Any of you guys, what do you guys know about? Have you guys ever heard of awakening or know anything about that? Do you guys want me to chat about that? Awakening is an interesting subject, man. Do you plan to come to Japan, John? Like almost every week, there seems to be a new gym somewhere, even in a rural area. Fitness boom. That's okay. In the future, I want to come to Japan for sure. George, go ahead. That's okay. So, I'm curious about your death, thoughts on death, acceptance, etc. Okay. Yeah, please talk about your awakening period. Okay, sweet, man. So, my awakening, I shared this on the Why I Left Six Pack Shortcut story, on the video on there. I shrunk it down, so this way it's not as confusing for people. But I'll give you guys the unedited version, I won't give you guys the clean version. I'll give you guys the dirty version. So, all right. So check this out, right? So in Utah, February 2nd, Jason Chang. So February 2nd of 2015, I'm at this event in Utah, and it's like a mastermind event. It wasn't this, spiritual event or nothing at all. We were just going there and we're gonna do a talk on YouTube marketing, you know, because that's what we're known for, and other people is gonna do other stuff. And there was about maybe 70 or 80 people. And at the end, the last night is when I experienced this awakening. Okay. And it was over a 6-hour period. And after the 6 hours, everything in my mind changed. My whole entire energy changed. My body changed. Everything changed. So before that, let me tell you a little back end story. So before getting over there, I was dealing with some major issues with emotions. Number one, I was so stressed like crazy. I was so stressed that I kept having like complaints in my mind, like a broken record, like constantly, blah, 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 like so-and-so should be doing this. Why is this happening? God, go ahead and just get this thing right. God, why can't we just do that? Man, what am I gonna do about this problem? Like just constant complaints in my mind about problems, about situations from work, you know? I was running 7 departments at Six Pack, you know, just by myself. And it was a lot of work, you know? And on top of that, the relationship at home. And so there was so much going on. And so I just kept complaining. That was such a big thing. It got so bad. I kept complaining so bad in my mind that my attention span just dropped to like crap. I couldn't pay attention. Like I had so many problems paying attention. It got so bad I couldn't understand my managers anymore when we were having these meetings about their departments. I was straight up, they'll tell me what's going on in their department, and I'll sit there and I would hear what they're saying, but I couldn't comprehend what was really going on. I couldn't connect the dots, you know? And I remember thinking to myself, like, what's happening? Like, I thought I was like pretty smart. Like these departments, like I manage these departments, you know, I started this company. I don't even know what the heck they're talking about now. What the heck is going on? When did this even happen? I don't remember when it started. I just realized it's happening now. And so that was happening. You know, I didn't know why. All I knew was, well, I'm really, really stressed and I hear these complaints all the time in my mind. And so, but I didn't see it to be a really big problem because I'm an entrepreneur. I'm working my butt off. All the other entrepreneurs I know, they deal with stress, you know. It's not like this crazy thing, you know. It's like, yo, stress. It's a normally accepted thing in our culture. And so I didn't think like anything was wrong, you know. If I was to tell somebody, dude, I'm really stressed. Oh, yeah, I feel you. Let me tell you about my stress story. So there was nothing to really complain about. It's just one of those things that happen, right? It's like bodybuilding, you get sore. You don't go and cry about it. Everybody gets sore. So that's the way I saw it. So another thing that was happening was about nine months before that event in Utah, I hurt my back, my lower back. I blew it out. I was lifting like a tree stump in a random park, you know. I was smoking some bud. I got real high and I was like, oh man, look at that tree stump. I'm going to take it home to my backyard. You're not supposed to. You're supposed to leave all the stuff in the national parks. I was like, oh, I'm going to take it, put it in my car. And so, you know, I'm not thinking good. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm feeling like I don't care, this nonchalant thing, right? It's a big ass tree stump too, right? It looked like the home tree of that movie Avatar. You know, the guy's living in that tree. It's got the crazy roots coming down. And I was looking at it, I was thinking it's gonna look so badass in my front yard, right? I grab it, I bear hug it, I lift it up, thinking I'm a strong man or something, right? I walk like 3 to 4 steps, put it down, and realize how heavy it was. I'm like, damn, that was heavy, right? Okay, I was like, okay, cool, I'm gonna give it a shot. You know, my car was like 50 yards away, and I'm looking at it, and I'm walking through like sand. But, you know, sometimes you do some stupid shit when you're stoned, right? So I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna go for it again. I grab it again, I lift it up, boom, sharp pain in my lower back. I put it down and I'm like, okay, yep, I think I'll just come back maybe when I have some help, right? And my back's like hurting, all right? So I didn't trip about it because, you know, I've been working out for so long. I blew out my back so many times, it's no big deal. You know, I know how to rehab it. I just do the regular protocols. A month and a half, it will be gone. But this one didn't leave in a month and a half. It actually just progressively got worse. I couldn't figure out why. I was like, what's going on? Why did it get worse? It got so bad that the pain traveled to my lower abdominal, like in the front of my stomach, lower right side. It was like a jabbing knife pain every single day. And I'm over here making six-pack videos. And I couldn't lift up a 20-pound dumbbell away from my body. Like I had to do this. I had to walk. I would walk, and if this was a dumbbell, I had to walk, I had to put it on my thigh and walk like this with it. like I couldn't lift it away from my body because my back couldn't handle it. I couldn't stand, sit, or lay down without pain. It was that bad. And here I am having to make videos too. And I still made videos. But there was a time to where I wasn't lifting much heavy weight. I was like doing these really, really isolated movements, you know, and just doing the best I can. So now fast forward, I'm dealing with this pain for like 9 months. It just wouldn't go away. I remember one day in the office, I walk into the office, I sit down, jump on the laptop, and the pain just came in so strong. I was just in agony. I was like, oh my God, I can't handle this. So I stand up and the pain is still there, jabbing. I was like, oh my God. I sit back down, the pain is still there. And I'm like, oh man, I'm fucked. I can't sit down, I can't stand up. And there's no way I'm gonna lay down, because if I lay down, I can't get back up. Like, I can't get back up without extreme amount of pain. It was like that bad, man, you know, and I can handle a lot of pain because I've been a lot of years of lifting. You start to be okay with pain, you know, but this was like, I couldn't handle it. I was like, I didn't know what to do. So the only thing I thought of is like, well, if I can't sit and I can't stand up and I can't lay down, I'm just gonna walk. At that moment, you just fucked up. Oh yeah. I was like, yeah, I'm fucked. What should I do? So you know what I did? I walked out of the office and I went to the neighborhood that's next to the office and just started walking. I didn't know what to do. I said, you know what? When I walked, it felt a little bit better, but it wasn't much better, but a little bit. But I couldn't stand still. It just, pain was there. So then I just walked, and I walked for 3 hours, just nonstop, you know? At the end of the 3 hours, the pain went back down to kind of like a bearable pain, you know? And I went back to the office and I was able to sit down lightly and just kind of chill. And I was like, oh my God, finally. Because I didn't know what to do. Like, if it couldn't stop, it's like, I don't want to go to the hospital. I don't want to go take all this painkiller. I know what to do, you know? So now I go to this event, right? Now fast forward, right? We're back on February 2nd, 2015. I go to this event. The last day of the event, we're all hanging out, right? It's the last celebration. We just had dinner. And we're about to go and do a little dance party. They had some DJs there, you know. And this girl offers me some mushrooms, some psilocybin. And so I was like, oh, no, I'm good, right? So my friend's been trying to get me to go and take mushrooms for like years. But I was like, I don't want to mess with that. And the reason why is because my dad has schizophrenia. You know, when I grew up around somebody that has schizophrenia. So whenever you get his episodes, he's like seeing all this stuff and he's like telling me, hey Mike, you see this and see this. And I was like scared. I was like, oh shit. You know, not only am I scared of him, but I'm also scared that's going to happen to me, because doctors were talking about like, oh, it's a genetic thing. It's a hereditary thing, you know? So me and my sister are like, oh shit, you know, this could happen to us, you know? We just wake up suddenly and we're seeing shit. And so I thought that mushrooms will make you see things. Because, you know, you ever hear people talk about mushrooms? Oh, dude, I see the colors. I see all this stuff. So I was thinking, hell no, man. I don't want to go and see anything. No, thank you. You know, I'll find other ways to have fun, but I'm not going to see stuff. I may not even be able to turn it off, you know. Freaking suddenly I have schizophrenia. Like, fuck that, man. I'm going to stay away from it. So I said no for like years. And so this girl go, hey, you want some special magic chocolates? No, I'm good. You know, I don't want to see anything. She looks at me all weird. She's like, see something? What do you mean? You don't hallucinate with it. I was like, really? I thought you do. I thought you see colors, you see all this crazy shit. She's like, nah, man, you just, you know, the lights will stand up a little bit more, you know, you have a lot of energy, you'll feel really good, but you don't hallucinate. And I looked at her, I was like, okay, so that's like trying like ecstasy. You know, it's kind of like X, right? Because I did that back in my 20s, you know, not a lot, but maybe about like 7-10 times, you know. And she's like, kinda, yeah. I was like, okay, cool, I'll just try it. And so I went ahead and took it. And then about 20 minutes later, you know, a friend of mine comes by and he's like, hey dude, open your mouth. I was like, what do you got? He's like, trust me, man, just open your mouth. I was like, he goes, stick out your tongue. I was like, man, this shit's getting weird, man. I'm like, and he drops like this powder in me and it ends up being like MDMA. So it's called hippie flipping. So I was like, oh shit, okay, all right. I didn't know what it was. All right, I'm just gonna go for it. Because everybody was really cool, so it's just this trusting vibe, right? So then I'm feeling the energy. I was like, oh man, yeah, I'm feeling good, right? So then I'm dancing, they're jamming and all this stuff. So Now, afterwards, about 45 minutes of dancing, I go into this big ass room. They call it the meditation room. There's about like 30 or 40 people in there. Everybody's just kind of chilling. Hello, Mr. Liu Kang. Hey, Han. So then I'm just chilling, and people started asking me about how I grew up, like how I grew up, how I started, when I started exercising, and how I ended up building the six-pack channel. So I was like, okay, cool. I've shared this story a lot of times, so I just started sharing my story about how I grew up. But because I was on the mushrooms, right, I had a different perspective. My energy was different. And so when I shared my grow-up story, my childhood story, I shared it from a different perspective. So all this time, every time, right? You know, if I was gonna ask the interview guys, hey, tell me about how you grew up, you would just tell me this story easily. Like, you don't even have to think about it. You have to go, where do I, you said it so often, it's just like repetitive, right? So just like me, except this time I said it from a different perspective. And I wasn't trying to, but it was because my energy was different from the mushrooms. It changed my energy. So then I said it from a different perspective. And so my old story about how I grew up is basically where I grew up in Houston, Texas, in an area called A-Leaf, and I grew up in like the hood. I was poor, I was getting picked on all the time, and I wanted to go ahead and become stronger. And so I started exercising. I wanted to be able to defend myself. So I started doing martial arts and all this stuff, right? That was like the motivation. I looked at all these badass people like Arnold Schwarzenegger. He's the man, right? You go look at like Jean-Claude Van Damme, Jackie Chan, Jet Li, Bruce Lee, all these people, Bruce Leroy, you know, all of these people that are freaking kicking ass on screen, Stallone, right? So I looked at them like idols because they're all these macho dudes, and I wanted to feel strong. I wanted to feel confident. So this way I can actually feel that way. I could feel safe. And these guys are so muscular and jacked, and I look at myself, I'm this skinny, no muscle, big pot belly little Chinese kid. So I'm like, man, I want to go ahead and work out, be like these guys. So that's when I started training. And then that's my normal childhood story, right? I can just say it without thinking. But then that night, I didn't say that story, but instead I shared another perspective of my childhood. And the perspective I shared was, hey, you know, well, I grew up in A-Leaf in Houston, Texas, you know, and the way I started exercising, I had these neighbors, you know, there's these three brothers that lived across the townhomes from me. We lived in these townhomes, you know, these fourplexes. And one of the brothers was really, really jacked. His name is Damien, you know, his three brothers, like Damien, Fiji, and I forgot the other guy's name, Femi. And so anyways, like, but Damien's like really jacked, you know, and we love to work out, you know, because I was so motivated, you know, so we would go and work out with like cinder blocks, you know, we stick like a broomstick between the, you know, cinder blocks, like the big ones like that, like the gray ones with the two holes, you stick something in it, and I was curling with those, for example, and we stick like a broomstick in it, but nothing was like keeping it from moving around, so it was like scraping our chest and all this stuff. We were doing push-ups and doing all these moves, you know, these workouts, because we're like, we love to work out, you know. He liked to work out, and then I was so motivated, and we just did that. And I would watch like movies, Arnold movies and all this stuff, you know, all these muscular dude movies, and just to be inspired. Me and my mom would go ahead and watch like Arnold Schwarzenegger movies. I still remember she likes to watch the movies because she liked the action. I think she likes to spend time with me, but she couldn't pronounce Arnold Schwarzenegger. Schwarzenegger is like too long of a name, so she just called it the big muscle guy in Chinese, you know. She goes, hey Mike, you want to go watch a big muscle guy movie? I'm like, hell yeah, you know. So we go and watch that, and then I would be inspired, and she'd like it, you know. We're hanging out watching movies all the time, and that was the way I was being inspired, you know. And that's how I started exercising. And I got my first membership in 24 Hour Fitness when I was 14, you know. And so that was my new story, which was completely true, but it was just from a different perspective. And then I started to go on and start talking about the rest of my events in my life, how ultimately ended up to, you know, starting the Six-Pack Company. But here's the thing. Every single other event in my life was about proving myself worthy, proving myself to the people that picked on me, proving myself to people that looked down on me, you know. My old story is like I was poor, I was skinny, you know, my people looked at me and didn't think I was gonna amount to anything, so I'm gonna go and show them. I'm gonna prove to them that I'm better than what they thought of me. That was my old story. So all of the stuff, all of the businesses or all of the work, all of the jobs that I got, it was all for this. I'm gonna show them. I'm gonna go ahead and become successful, so this way I can show them that they were wrong about me. This validation, right? But it didn't match up anymore, because as I started to talk about every one of my stories, all of them was based on this needing to prove. But I just went ahead and, hey babe, can you let Booty out? I just went ahead and shared my childhood story from another perspective, from a perspective of like fun, compassion, you know, everything is cool. I don't need to prove myself. And so therefore every event after that didn't make sense. And this wasn't, I didn't see this as just like a story I'm telling. I saw this like, this is who I am. This is who I am as a person. So then when I started to share, and I realized that all of these events that I did in my life was based on a story that I had, a perspective. And that if I changed my perspective, then every single other thing in my life would have been very different. And the only reason it happened that way is because I had this story that this is how it went down. You know, I was being picked on, I had to prove myself. But if I didn't see myself as being this less person, being this non-worthy person, you know, that needed to prove themselves, then I would have made that choice different, all throughout my life. All of the choices I made would have been different. Then I would have been a totally different person. And who knows who Mike Chang would have been? I don't know, you know? And yet, so there I am, I realized suddenly I would be a different person. But just because I changed the story that I'm telling myself. So if I can change, if I become a different person just because I change my story, then I can't be a story. This person of who I am isn't this story. Who I am is more than just the story of Mike Chang, this character of Mike Chang, right? If your name is John Smith, I go, hey, John Smith, tell me about you, John Smith. Then you would tell me the story of John Smith. Story of John Smith is who John Smith is. The story of Mike Chang is who Mike Chang is. But in reality, if I can suddenly change the story, so now Mike Chang is a different person now because I just changed the story. I just saw the story from a different perspective. You guys catching on? You see? That doesn't make sense. I didn't change. I'm still here. I was still standing there. I was still sitting there telling people, and suddenly I'm a different person now. That didn't make sense. I couldn't have been stories in my mind. This Mike Chang character was just a story. But who I was not this story. Who I was isn't this Mike Chang character. This character was just made up in my head. See what I mean? This is deep, okay? But I realized that this idea of this person, Mike Chang, is just made up in my mind. I can change my name to being John Smith and then make up a story. John Smith did this, and now I'm John Smith. Suddenly I'm a different person, I just changed. But I still look the same, I still have the same thoughts. Like, I didn't change. Who I am is not based on a name. Who I am is not based on a story of my past. That's not who I am. That's just an event that I experienced. It's just an event that I experienced, but it's not who I am. If I own this car is just a car that I drive, but that's not who I am. If I have this necklace is something that I wear, but this is who I am. If I have this hair, suddenly I went bald, I'm not a different person. This is just hair, you see? If I have an arm and my arm is gone, I'm not a different person. This is my arm, but it's not who I am. I am beyond any of this. I am the observer, the awareness. I realized that I wasn't any of my stories. I wasn't any of my thoughts. No, I'm not high right now, Adam. So I realized that from telling these stories, you know, to these people, I realized, oh my God, I'm just a story in my mind. And so as this was happening, I was like, oh, this is crazy. I started breathing heavily. I was like, oh man. So I started breathing heavy. And because it felt like I was like experiencing this new way of seeing reality, this new way of seeing myself. I was like, this is some real shit. Oh my God. I feel like I'm in the Truman Show, straight up. Like, what? I am just made up, you know? Yeah, I know about the Wim Hof method. It's good, George. Yeah, it's legit stuff. So from there, I started breathing heavily. I didn't know why, it just felt natural. And I just kept on talking. I started tapping myself on the top of my head because, thanks, Prince. Maybe I should, I'll do more of these lives. Clark Shaw to me. Clark Shaw is my friend from we grew up together. We were like 15 when we met each other. So when I realized that, so I'm tapping myself on the top of my head because it felt like good to do so. I didn't know why, and I was deep breathing because it helped me feel better because I was like really, really, really surprised. And also I was just speaking without caring about what other people was thinking of me. Because earlier I sat into a talk, a friend of mine was talking about authenticity. And he said that if you don't care about what other people think, then you're authentic. If you do, then you can't be real. You're not real. You're not an authentic person. You're just a person that is doing their best for validation. You're doing your best to receive love from people, receive acceptance from people, but you're not being your real true self because you care about what other people think of you. So therefore you can't. You're only doing things for other people. When my friend was doing that talk and I was sitting there, at first I was thinking, nah, I'm authentic. I'm authentic, What do you mean? I'm not fake. And I started thinking back in my thoughts on all of the situations, or this situation, that situation. And one by one, I started realizing, man, when this situation is happening, I do care about what people think. This is why I would do this instead of that. And that situation, I do care. In that situation, I do care. Whoa, actually, I care like crazy. And then when I realized I care like crazy, I'm like, oh man, I'm a fake ass motherfucker is who I am. Damn, I thought Mike Chain was a real person, like authentic person, legit. But here I am. I actually care about what people think of me. Damn. And I remember feeling like so surprised. Like I didn't know. I thought I was so authentic. I used to go and train my guys in the company, and I used to tell them about how to be authentic, how to be a real person, how to express real and all this stuff. And here I am sitting in, hearing my friends talk and realizing that this is what authenticity really means when you stop caring about people's opinions of yourself. And I realized I care like crazy. So at that moment, I decided, you know what? Fuck that, man. I'm going to do my best to be as authentic as I can and stop caring about what other people think of me. At that moment, I started. And so that was 2 hours, right? 2 hours before going to this meditation room and talking to these guys. So that's why I was speaking out loud, because here I am experiencing all these realizations and it's like blowing my mind. And as I'm speaking it out loud, it's allowing me to kind of hear these thoughts, So instead of having to think about things and then deciding what to say, like what I used to do, I would just speak it out loud without thinking about it. And if somebody doesn't like it, oh well, I don't care. I'm practicing being authentic, right? So that's what I was thinking. So that's what I did. And so I kept speaking out loud. I kept figuring out, I went into my life and I started looking at every single thing in my life, all the major events in my life. And I started figuring out, like, why am I doing all these things? What's my real motivation? What was I thinking? What was I believing that caused me to do all these things? And one by one, I was able to go ahead and see all of these stories that I made up in my head. About I need to go and be better. Like everything was about being better. Everything was about trying to prove myself. Everything was about like validation. Everything was about seeing myself less. And one by one, I was able to see that I just made it up. I made up these stories. I made up these stories in my mind. They're not real because they're just one perception. They're my perception, but it was one perception. And I made them up. And based on that perception, that belief that I had about myself, I chose to do that. I chose to do that. I chose to do that. Everything in my life, which is because I made up this belief about it. But the belief wasn't real. I can make up a new one, in other words, right? And so why would I make up a belief that would make me feel bad? Why would I make up a belief that says I'm less, that I'm not enough, that I need to prove myself, that I'm fat, I'm ugly, I'm this, I'm that, I'm not confident, girls don't like me, guys don't respect me, nobody's gonna care about what I think, I can't achieve my goals, I'm a victim, I can't do anything about my life, blah, 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 right? I wasn't thinking all of those things, but there were things like that, that's just in general examples, but I had a lot of those type of thoughts. And I realized there's no reason I should make up these things. That doesn't make sense. All of it is made up anyways. So why don't I just make up things that are empowering for myself? Because they're all made up anyways, There's a line that says, if you believe you can do it, or if you believe you can't, you're right. If I believe I can do something, I'm right. If I believe I can't do something, I'm right. If I believe I'm stupid, I'm right. If I believe I'm smart, I'm right. If I believe I'm good looking, I'm right. If I believe I'm ugly, I'm right. If I believe I'm fat, oh, look at this fat. You know, I must be fat. If I believe I'm ripped, you see, it doesn't matter. It's all just a belief in ourselves. And if somebody goes, well, you know, I believe this, but somebody else doesn't think, who cares about what they think, right? We all know about trollers on the internet and haters. Haters are gonna hate. It doesn't matter how good or how awesome you are, they will find something that they don't like about you. It doesn't matter. The glass is half empty. You are right. That glass is half full. You are right. You see? Everything is just a belief. And we can choose to believe whatever the heck we want to believe. And it's right. So why don't we believe the best in ourselves? Why don't we believe the best in people? Because we can be right in that. And then when we believe that, life changes completely. All worries is gone. All fear is gone. Everything's gone. So I realized that. And I'm standing there, walking around, deep breathing. I'm tapping myself on the top of the head like this. I'm pacing around the room and I'm speaking out loud the way I am right now. And I do that nonstop for 6 hours, straight up, nonstop, like the way I've been speaking, you know, for a while now. At the end of the 6 hours, that injury that I was telling you guys about, that lower back injury where I pulled my back, and the pain that traveled to my front abdominal, disappeared, gone. I have no idea at the time how it happened, straight up gone. Remember I talked about complaining constantly, right? Complaining, blaming, all that stuff. I had so much mind shadow that I couldn't understand my managers. My mind went silent. I was so present. I was just looking at, it's like I was looking at things for the first time, because every time we have thoughts, we have judgments, it's like a filter in front of us. We don't see what's actually in front of us. We see the judgment, and then through the judgment, we see what's in front. So if I have a judgment, all of these judgments, we don't see what's actually there. We see the judgments and all the judgments, and then we see whatever is there. In other words, we skew the reality, right? An example is, let's say I think anybody who's Buddhist is not a good person, right? That's my judgment because some event that happened, right? That's my belief. So now I meet a person, he's Buddhist. So automatically I think this person is not a good person. But I don't know anything about this person. But I think this is not a good person. Why? Because I have a judgment on Buddhism. So now I don't get to, this person sharing with me stuff and I'm doubting. You know, it's this person, he's probably lying to me because he's not a good person because he's Buddhist and Buddhist people do blah, 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 blah. You see? So I can't really even be open to hearing what this person is saying. This person goes, oh man, you're such a great guy. Oh, in my mind, I'm thinking, oh, whatever, man. You're just trying to go and trick me to get me to become a Buddha. You know? Judgments doesn't allow us to be able to see what's there. It doesn't allow us to be able to receive things because we are hiding behind, we are only viewing the things through the layer of judgments. So all of those judgments that I had in my mind, gone. And suddenly I'm looking at the world with an intense amount of presence. I've never experienced that, ever. My body became so light that I was looking at my arms and my arms were like practically floating. I mean, I was looking at them, I was like, holy crap, what's happening to me? My chest was like almost floating upwards. Like I felt like somebody was lifting me by the back of my shirt, straight up. Like I had helium inside of me or something. I didn't know how to explain it. So I was like telling people, openly telling people this. Strangers I never met. I was telling them, oh my God, I feel like I have helium in me. I didn't give a shit if they go, the fuck is he on, you know? I mean, almost everybody was on mushrooms that day, you know, that night. But nobody was experiencing what I was. I was talking to people. Nobody was experiencing what I was experiencing. They were having a normal, you know, mushroom trip, right? Oh, I'm happy, love you, I love you, all this stuff. But not what I was going through. You know, that's why I knew it wasn't just the mushrooms. It had something to do with it, but it wasn't the thing. Something else. I cracked into something else. I was floating. I was walking around. I was just looking at my body like, this is not my body. I know what my body feels like. This is not my body. Something's just happening. I'm like so light. I didn't know why. But it felt so good. So good that the way I felt before was like terrible. Before I went to the event, just days before or the day before, was like death. It was so bad the way I felt before compared to this. I didn't ever want to go back. It was like being in a dark hole with no light and being chained up in the ground. It was like so bad. And now keep in mind, this is like me in six pack. This is me like having my dream job, having my dream body, you know, making so much money. I didn't care about money. I didn't worry about money anymore. I don't even look at price tags, you know. It was like this typical dream life, you know, that I created for myself. And that happiness that I thought was so happy compared to the way I felt at that event was like death. That's how bad it was. It was so bad that I made a promise to myself that I would do whatever it takes to never go back to the way I felt then. Never, ever, ever. And I will give up everything, single thing in my life, if that's what it took to go and, what's up, eh? To go and not go back to the way I felt then. Because it was so bad, terrible, compared to the way I felt then. This insane amount of happiness. I didn't know what was happening. I had no idea what just happened, except I was feeling that good. And also, I made another agreement with myself that whatever it takes, I'm gonna learn what just happened to me, and I'm gonna share it with everybody. Everybody. I'm gonna teach people how to experience what I experienced. I'm gonna teach people how to feel this good, because every single person in the world wants to feel that good. I don't care if they never talked about it and they never thought about it. I didn't think about it. I didn't know what was even happening. But when it happens, oh yeah, every single person wants to feel that good. I don't give a shit who they are. They want to feel that good, period. So then after that, I told my partners, I was like, hey, you know, I want to go ahead and do this. I want to learn what happened, you know, and I want to go and share this and teach this with people. And they looked at me and they were like, yeah, I don't think we can do that. And I was like, well, what do you mean we can't do that? Yeah, we can. You know, this is our company. We can do whatever you want. You know, let's teach these people. And they're like, no, Mike, we're a fitness company. You know, we do six-pack abs. We build muscle. We can't talk about this energy, spirituality, whatever just happened to you. Like, no, man. They're like, we got salaries you got to pay. And I was like, no, we can do it. Yeah, we can find a way. We can do it. This will be awesome. People will freaking love this. You know, this is the next level shit. You know, we're talking about the secret to happiness. I don't even know what happened, except it is the best shit ever. And they just looked at me like, nah, I'm sorry, we can't. So I'm like, oh, okay, cool. Peace out. All right, then I'm out. And at first they thought I was kidding. I'm like, no, I'm not kidding. I'm out, you know? And so after that, we started figuring out my way out of the company, because I wasn't going to go and give up what I experienced, and I wasn't going to give up learning whatever it took to learn what happened, master that shit, and then go ahead and share it with the world. I don't give a shit. All the money we were making, all the fame, everybody knew me wherever I went. They all recognized me. I didn't give a shit. I had all this stuff. Take it all. Because I was able to go and experience the happiest I've ever experienced in my entire life, and it had nothing to do with money, nothing to do with fame, with having a better body, with having an awesome girlfriend, having an awesome house, whatever. Nothing to do with any of these things that people care so much about. I care so much about. I busted my ass and everything to go and get these things. Worked my ass off, 70, 80 hours a week. Stressed my ass off and still kept going. And yet, none of those things changed. And here I am experiencing the best ever. So I realized the idea that line, happiness doesn't buy, like money doesn't buy happiness. Yeah, it's completely true. But what creates happiness? Right? People go, oh, following your purpose, follow all this stuff. Well, you know what? I was following my purpose. I loved exercising. Like, that was like my dream job, is to go ahead and exercise. Like, you serious? Like, I don't have to wear a shirt to the office. Are you serious? I get to go and talk about working out, slam down monster drinks, go ahead and wrestle with a whole bunch of muscular dudes and talk. Like, That's a dream job. I was following my passion. Following your passion doesn't make you happy, okay? It's not that it makes you unhappy, but happiness is an emotion. It's a energy in your body. So that means if you are doing everything that you want in your life, you have everything. You have everything in your life. You're doing exactly what you want. That doesn't mean you're happy, okay? You can be doing all of that, but your emotions can be stressed. Your emotions can be frustrated, can be worried, can be fearful. But you have your dream job, right? You're making tons of money. You have your dream body. You have everything that you want. You have your dream partner, whatever it is. But if your emotions are not loving, they're not happy, your energy is not high, then it doesn't matter. You're not going to be happy. And here's the tricky part about this. Somebody can ask you, hey, John Smith, hey, are you happy? And John Smith will go, yes, I am very happy. I have a nice house. I have a beautiful wife. I have great kids. I have a good job. I have tons of money in the bank, financially secured, and I exercise. Doctor says I have a good bill of health. So I am very happy. You know what John Smith just did? John Smith just named reasons on why he's happy. But happiness is not reasons. Happiness is an emotion. It's an emotion. If I go, hey, give me thoughts about why. Give me positive thoughts. Give me positive thoughts on why you're happy. But now if I go, hey, are you happy? Do you have the emotion of happiness? Somebody will go, they'll just start listing reasons again. I go, no, not reasons. How do you feel right now inside of your body? Literally, right now in your body, how does your body feel right now? You know what a lot of people will do? Feels fine. Yeah, what's there to feel? Yeah, feels okay. You see? That's how I did. That is the typical thing. The reason why is because most people can't feel their body. I've been exercising for so long and I couldn't feel the sensation in my body. I was so disconnected inside of my body, I couldn't feel it. Like, I can feel my muscles, all right? I can contract muscles, but I couldn't feel feelings in my body. I couldn't feel emotions in my body. So if I can't feel emotions in my body, how do I feel happiness? How do I feel if I'm like angry? I can't. Because in order to feel that, you got to be able to feel. You got to be able to be connected to emotions. And I wasn't a emotional person, right? I think there's like emotion people and unemotional people. But that's the thing. That's like saying I'm not a thinking person. I'm not a person that thinks. What do you mean? Everybody has thoughts. Your thoughts may not be the same as that person's thoughts, but you have thoughts, right? And if someone goes, well, I'm not an emotional person, well, that's fine, but you still have emotions. But if you can't feel your emotions, then how do you really know what's going on? You see, if somebody can't feel their emotions, they could be angry and they have no idea that they're angry. They can be stressed and they have no idea that they're stressed. They can be sad, depressed. These are just labels. In reality, that's just their energy frequency. They could be experiencing that and they have no idea. Why? They can't feel it. So then if they can't feel it, and then in their mind, they're listing the reasons on why everything is fine, well, then everything is fine. But you know what's happening though? What happens when somebody's energy is really low? What happens? When somebody's energy is really low, when their emotions are really low, energy can't flow well in the body, And when energy can't flow well, sickness happens. Their health starts to go down. We start to get sick. We start to get disease. Suddenly, oh my God, I got cancer. You didn't just get cancer. You started developing it a long time ago. It's just that now it got to a point to where it shows on the radar when you go to the doc. Oh my God, yeah, suddenly I got heart disease. All of these things is because our blood is not flowing. Our oxygen is not flowing. Why isn't it flowing in our body? It's not flowing because it's blocked. Why is it blocked? A big part of it has to do with emotions. Our emotions, when we are angry, when we are depressed, when we're sad, our body tenses up. A normal place that people tense up is here, traps and shoulders, behind the neck. We tense up in our lower back, tense up in our hips, tense up in our jaw, tense up right here. All of these different tensions and more, different parts of our back. Our back, our spine is our energy highway. It's a passageway where energy flows, where the blood flows, spinal fluids flow. Everything flows. It's like a highway. But if our back is so stiff, then it can't flow well. So if it can't flow well, we get sick. If it can't flow well, energy can't flow well, then our emotion stays really low. And then what happens when we have low emotions, when we have like stressful emotions, angry emotions? Then we have anger thoughts. We have angry thoughts. We have negative thoughts. We see the world in that way. When our body feels that way, no matter if we know it or not, if our body feels that tension, that stress, those negative emotions, our body's sympathetic nervous system is turned on. The sympathetic nervous system, there's two different types of nervous systems in our body, sympathetic and parasympathetic. The sympathetic is responsible for our fight or flight. It's a defensive mechanism. It's for survival. If we feel in danger, our sympathetic nervous system turns on, and then we go, it's time to put it up or pew, I'm out. It's for survival. So this way, and when that's happening, our adrenaline is pumping, all of our energy goes into our limbs, like our arms, it goes into our legs, you know, and we are ready to go ahead and run or fight. It's not the right time to be recovering muscles. It's not the right time to be resting anything. It's not the right time to be digesting anything. It's time to do one or the other, fight or run. Only when our body is relaxed and calm can we turn on our parasympathetic nervous system, and now it's time for recovery. Now it's time for digestion to happen. This is why if you train super hard when you're exercising, you actually will turn on sympathetic. Well, let's get to that in a sec. Most people have their sympathetic nervous system turned on all the time because we are dealing with not fake, but we're dealing with man-made stress. If we look at our life, like, people aren't in danger most of the time. We're not living in a place where there's war outside, there's AKs, all this stuff. Some people are living that life, you know. But a lot of you guys are watching right now, and a lot of us aren't living that life. But we get so stressed with like everyday expectations. We get stressed because so-and-so broke up with me, or so-and-so yelled at me, or I don't feel like I'm in shape. Whatever it is, we make up all these reasons. And then we get stressed and we get frustrated and we get mad and we get depressed. And then when that happens, our body gets really tense and our body feels that fight or flight. And when our body feels that way, our body doesn't feel really safe. It feels like it's in fear. And now we start to think with our animal brain, that part, the reptilian brain, the part that's on the bottom right here, right there in the spine, top of the spine. We start to think in that way. We start to think in survival mode. So when we think about survival mode, we only think about a few things. Financial security, like financial security is a survival mode thought. When somebody's constantly worried about financial security. You see, this has nothing to do with worry about making money. Everybody, we need to make money to survive. But when someone is in that fight or flight, they can have a lot of money and they're still worried about money. Because if they have a lot of money, they're worried about losing the money. I have millions of dollars in the bank, but what happens if the bank goes under? I have millions of dollars in these investments. What happens if all my investments fold? Hey, it could happen, right? So then now they worry. It's not about how much you have. While at the same time, somebody can have a little bit of money in the bank and be perfectly fine. They're not worried about it. They still work hard, but they don't have to constantly worry. You see, this worries on financial security, for example, is one of the things that has to do with thinking in a fight or flight type of way, thinking in the scarcity mindset. Another one, so people think about the basic survival things. The reason why people think about money so much is money is equivalent to survival. That's how it is here. It's not about how much big guns or how much knives, or it's not about that anymore. It's just about money, because if you don't have money, you don't have food, don't have water, don't have any of these things. So that's what you think about. So that's compared to survival. So people think about that, and also they think about sex. Sex, 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 and more sex. Why? Because sex is also meant for survival. It's a natural mechanism. Okay? So those two things, that's what they end up chasing constantly. But when somebody's bodies is not in this fight or flight anymore, when their bodies learn how to relax, when their body learns how to be loose, they turn on the parasympathetic nervous system. Their body is now able to recover. If their body can't recover and it's always on fight or flight, their body gets sick. It's like you leave a car running constantly. Even when you're not driving it, you leave it running. And then you drive it and then you just leave it running. You never turn it off. Engine's always on. You're just tearing down the engine. You don't ever let the engine rest. So how long, what would happen? Your engine will start to have problems, right? You got to replace things. Our body's the same way. If our body can't rest and can't relax because it's constantly on fight or flight, then we get sick. Sleeping doesn't matter. Have you ever went to sleep? If you go to sleep stressed, if you go to sleep like worried about things, that's the worst way to go to bed. Absolutely the worst way. Because if you ever have this happen, right, you go to sleep because you're worried about something, you're angry about something, you're frustrated about something. You wake up, you have dreams that are equivalent to the way you felt. Okay? You manifest those dreams based on your feelings. And you got your body used to more of that feeling. So then you wake up the next day, automatically you wake up the next day feeling the same way. If you went to sleep stressed, you wake up, you're still stressed. So now you start the day off stressed. And what happens if you start the day off in a stressful way? Well, then you see your world through this stressful way. You start to act stressful. You start to talk to people with this stress. And then, so what do? You end up creating more stress. And you go to bed stressed, and the thing repeats over and over and over, you know? So you got to get rid of it. You got to stop that cycle. When you stop that cycle, you are able to, number one, be healthy in your body. And now we're able to start making new choices in our life. Our life changes because our mind stops thinking in stress. It stops thinking out of survival. People don't go after their dreams when they're in survival mode. Why? Because it's not the night time. You don't take chances when you're worried about survival. You play it safe. You don't go ahead and do new things because it's unsecure. You rather go ahead and do the same things and be safe and knowing what to expect, then you go ahead and do something new and you don't know what the outcome is. It's okay when you're feeling good in your body, but when you're not feeling good, when you're in survival mode, when your sympathetic nervous system is firing, you don't do new things. Doing new things is scary as hell. So if somebody wants to go ahead and, damn, it's like mosquitoes like crazy here. Come on, you guys. So if somebody wants to go ahead and take some action, they want to do something that they really want to do, but they're so afraid to do it, then the fastest way to overcome that is to get out of that survival mode in your body. Start to teach your body how to calm down, how to relax, how to let go of tension. And then when you do, suddenly you'll find it much easier to go ahead and go after the things that you want. You know, you don't have to change anything. You simply just start to change the way your body feels. Now your body stops freaking out. Your body's not so stressed. It feels really relaxed. Now it feels relaxed. Now you still want the same thing. So now when you go for it, you don't have all of these reasons in your mind that stops you from doing something you really want to do. Suddenly the reason in your mind becomes, you know, I'm just going to go for it. What's the worst that can happen? You see? And worse is, oh man, I don't know if that's a good idea. This bad thing can happen. This bad thing can happen. This thing can happen. Maybe I should just not do it now. That's thinking through fear, thinking through scarcity. We can't get out of that mindset unless we change the emotions in our body, unless we get our bodies to calm down, okay? So, all right, well, guys, thanks for jumping on and being on this video with me. It's been about I don't know how long now, hour and 75 minutes, almost 2 hours, you know, so I'm about to lose my voice here. And holy shit. And it is also 2:35 a.m. Holy crap. And I got to wake up at like 7, you know, I got to go film. I'm going to film, I'm going to go film a video tomorrow morning. So thank you guys so much. Fake name, see you guy. Big Boss 100, yes. Pink Man, Adam Hausman, super deep, thank you. Dylan Hodges, all right, man. Have a good one, bro. Pink Man, oh yes. Crazy Legs, nice name. Marty, all right, see you, brother. Adrian Spirit Flame, all right, man. John Bishop, find solution for my problems in my sleep, yeah. Ant-Man, it's a gecko. SFX, all right, you guys. Livez, Dave, Derek Anderson, Hung. All right, man. Yeah, appreciate you. Canel, Musu94. All right, man. Thank you. Yeah, keep up the good work. Peter Bruce's Batman. You're welcome. Thanks, Mike. That was incredible. That was incredible. Kevin T, do more lives, bro. Yeah, man. I guess I will, man. You know, and just go and chat, and you guys can ask me questions, and we just roll with it, man. I really enjoyed it. Thank you guys for showing up and having these discussions. You know, I do my best to answer these questions, share some stories with y'all, whatever you guys want to hear. I'm an open book, man. You know, I just share whatever you think you like to hear, what will help you out. You know, Prince, yo, take care. All right. I still trying using you. Thank you, man. Dave, you look really happy, Mike. Thank you. I appreciate you. Palcio, all the best to you. Thanks, man. Abris, thank you. Anthony, positive power. All right, brothers. See you guys. Talk to y'all soon, man. All right. Hey, I'm doing good, Ivan. All right, take care, guys.